miles an hour. Tonight, remaining mostly clear to partly cloudy, still warm with a low of 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
1620, The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum-Wright Time Saving Traffic Center, heads up, there was an accident reported at 40th at Lake Street, and there's another accident at 42nd at Monroe Street. So be safe around those areas. Other than that, it seems to be pretty clear across the metro. You can maybe see some delays on L Street between 50th and 32nd going eastbound. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled and eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janasek.
This time saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Got diamonds, gold, coins, watches. At Saul's Jewelry and Loan, we buy it all. Any size diamond, scrap, or broken jewelry. With 6 metro locations and immediate payment, it's no wonder why more people choose Saul's. Saul's Jewelry and Loan, where you get more.
It's not too late to book tickets for your college baseball championship pregame tailgate. Book with Blur Parties at Hilton Omaha for the premier college baseball championship tailgate with an all-inclusive full bar and buffet, TVs, music, and of course, tailgate games. Blur Parties is located on the south side of Charles Schwab Field at Hilton Omaha. Visit blurparties.com to book your tailgate tickets ahead of time. But don't worry, they'll take walk-up ticket purchases too. That's blurparties.com.
A consultation at Sedora Law Group isn't a formality, it's a strategic session with experienced trial attorneys who've handled felony charges, DUI cases, and complex litigation for individuals and corporate clients. Experience matters. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience focuses on what matters most in court: posture, presentation, and legal credibility. Schedule a consultation at sedoralaw.com. That's SODORO law.com. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit sedoralaw.com.
The hottest months of the year are also the most dangerous, not just because of heat waves or storms, but because they stress the power grid to the limit. That's why My Patriot Supply created the Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator. It delivers 3,300 watts of power, enough to run fridges, freezers, power tools, and more, all without gas, noise, or fumes, using free energy from the sun. And for a limited time, when you order a Grid Doctor 3300, you'll get 2 free 200-watt waterproof solar panels. To claim your free panels before this offer ends, shop mypatriotsupply.com/radio. Whether it's summer blackouts, hurricanes, or just peace of mind in uncertain times, the Grid Doctor solar generator has your back. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/radio, mypatriotsupply.com/radio, and secure your Grid Doctor 3300 with 2 free solar panels today. mypatriotsupply.com/radio.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Get into Prairie Flower Casino and get in the game. Prairie Flower has hundreds of new slot machines along with the PFC Sportsbook, video poker and keno, electronic craps, blackjack, and roulette. Looking for a bite in the beverage? You'll love all our options, including Sky Bar and Grill, with nonstop sports on our wall-to-wall TVs and the friendly service you know and love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
she needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The baseball world comes to Omaha. And 1620 The Zone is running the show. All the excitement of the Men's College World Series. The insight, the fun, and the stories behind the games. Live from the Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Access Bank and Children's Nebraska. Also brought to you by Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. And Nebraska Medicine. Don't miss a minute of the biggest event in the Big O on your station for the Men's College World Series. 1620 The Zone.
Introducing Family Meals of Hope from the Salvation Army of Omaha. This new program serves families in need by bringing free dinner time meals directly to conveniently located public places and serving them up food truck style. Family Meals of Hope will run each weeknight except for holidays during the summer. Free dinner time meals each weeknight from the Salvation Army's Family Meals of Hope program. For serving times, locations, and more details, go to salarmyomaha.org. That's salarmyomaha.org.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRUNK for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRUNK for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRUNK.
The backseat. Check the backseat.
All right, come here.
Check the backseat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the backseat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
1620 The Zone. Live from 50th and Capitol Avenue in the Big O. This is Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone. 1620thezone.com and 1620 The Zone TV. Now here's Gary, Matt, and Jimmy.
What is that look?
What are you talking about, my man?
Oh,
what
boy.
What are you talking about? Good Friday morning, everybody. It is the start of a weekend. It is the start of the CWS, and it is the beginning of Hollywood Matt, baby. You like the sunglasses? You like the fit? How are we looking?
This is, you know what? I studied the Hindenburg. I am going to have a front row seat to this. But good morning. Yes, it is the start of the College World Series. Good Friday, everybody. It is a feel-good Friday. Happy 75th anniversary, Omaha. There aren't many people that make it to 75 years. Like your partner, you make it to 75 years. We have made it, Omaha. We have made it to 75 years, and we will celebrate today in what is our state fair, and for the next, 10 days, is America's state fair.
It is. No, I was going to say it's the World State Fair. It's America's State Fair. It's all of our state fairs. It's it's not global, but it's domestic. It's domestic enough. It's fun enough. It's a good time. It's hard to kind of see. I'm going to take off the sunglasses.
Yeah,
now.
you should.
That didn't last long.
Yeah, that okay. We made it a minute and a half. Good job.
All right. I did it for the joke.
That's what she said.
I did it purely so you could freak out and be like, "What the hell is wrong?"
No, I didn't freak out. I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" Did you have a late night last night? Were you down at the opening ceremonies? Were you down at the concert? Were you at the fireworks? Did you go to the zoo? Did you sneak into the zoo where the teams were? What did you do last night?
Okay.
Did you get locked into Baseball Village?
A lot to unpack here. First off, I did go down there at 1 o'clock. The plan was to watch practice and hobnob, and actually turned into me being the engineer and helping fix the broadcast booth for you to broadcast in today because
Hey,
there were.
what? Thank you.
There were some major problems. You were going to
switch hadn't
be
been turned on.
broadcasting with an echo. You were going to hear yourself twice. So we took about 3.5 hours to fix that. So I was not able to go onto the field and hobnob, unfortunately. But afterwards, I did go to the Omaha Baseball Village. I did grab myself a summer shandy because I deserved it after a long day of work and no nap. And I met some people from California who came into town for the
UCLA
Bruins.
fans.
Yes, they're rooting for the Bruins.
Okay.
Shout out Dane and shout out Brandy. Brandy's a guy, by the way. It was the first time I ever met a dude with the name Brandy. Cool. Awesome. And they bought me beer. We had a great time. And then I kind of perused around the Omaha Baseball Village looking for like my Philadelphia Phillies starter jacket or my 2004 Carolina Panther NFC South champion shirt. Was unable to find that yet. I think the vendors for that are coming out tomorrow. But I think I got a feeling, like looking at the crowd and talking to some of the people, it's going to be a really good mix at the OBV. It's a mix of numbers and people and demographics.
It's a good mix. This isn't a good series to draw people from out of town, except for 2 teams.
Yeah,
I mean that's why it's an opportunity for Omaha fans to go and get tickets, and especially today when it kicks off at 1 with Arizona and Coastal Carolina. But I met a friend down there for lunch yesterday, and we were walking through some of the tents because I always get a hat. So I always get a program, I always get a hat from the College World Series. I've been doing it since I was in high school, and I would drive over on Championship Saturday to Rosenblatt to go to the games. So I was looking at the hats, and I was very disappointed in the hat selection last year from the NCAA.
Sure.
It was not great hats. This year is a little bit better. The damn rope hat is super popular.
Okay, you're in the minority.
Kids.
You're in the minority.
Oh, no, you know what?
You're completely in the minority. I
crushed my dad. I crushed my dad when he wore those because I'm like, we don't wear ropes on our hats. And he was like, this is a great hat. This was like 30 years ago.
Style. It's a great style. I own my 2 best hats that I get the most compliments for are rope hats. And I know every time you look at them, have a bit of disgust on your face because you think it's stupid. It's great. They had an LSU rope hat. I nearly pulled the trigger on that. The Oregon State rope hat looks awesome. The Murray State rope hat, you are going crazy.
Well, I did find a fitted. So what I understand, I went to a couple of tents, and the Murray State gear was not fully in yet.
Okay.
And so yesterday was like a big delivery day for racer gear.
Okay.
But a guy that I talked to is holding a fitted Murray State hat for me, like the actual ones they wear on the field. And so that's like going to be my best buy of the entire College World Series. But I did notice there was a trickle of more Murray State gear. LSU Arkansas is super popular. But we gotta work on the hat selection from the NCAA when it comes to the College World Series specific hats.
I think they knocked it out of the park.
Well, you don't have much of a reference, though. You have a 1-year reference.
That's a good point. But looking at the hats that I saw yesterday, I thought they were pretty good.
All right, the weather's going to be great today. By the way, from the home studio, the birds are out. The sun is up. It's going to be a beautiful day to kick off the 75th College World Series in Omaha.
I actually walked out this morning because typically I'm wearing a hoodie.
You run? You run out? Or? Okay.
No. Because typically I wear a hoodie and sweatpants because I don't want to be cold when I walk out in the morning. I walked out today and I was warm.
Welcome
I was
to
very
summer.
warm.
It's here.
I was like, this is going to be
Yes.
one hell of an afternoon. By the way, I've turned into the guy at Augusta where everybody like texts their friend that they know at Augusta to go and get them gear, right? To go and get the hats. And I've turned into that guy for the College World Series. I have about 9 different orders that I have to fulfill over the next. Like
that's a good problem to have.
Oh, it's awesome. It's incredible. But like I'm getting get Oregon State, get Arkansas. I got friends who go to Louisville. They want like 3 hats and 3 shirts. Like
Why don't you tell them to come to the College World Series?
I tried
The
to get
team is in the
people
College
on.
World Series for the first time in over 5 years.
They
didn't think they'd be here either. By the way, they feel disrespected.
That was a great. That was one hell of an interview from their head coach yesterday.
Dan's a good guy. We'd missed him since they hadn't been back here for a while. You know, they'd missed the tournament the last 2 years, and they actually were struggling. They finished 500 in the ACC. They got into the tournament, and then they got sent to Nashville, where you had the #1 national seed, and they were able to get out of there, and then they won in 3 against Miami. So they are getting hot at the right time. But he's a really, really good person. And, oh, by the way, a really, really good baseball coach. So every time that he has a microphone in front of him, I'm not surprised that he says things that you go, wow, that guy, I could play for that guy.
I could play for that guy. I love some people start on first base, some people start on second base, some people start in the dugout, right? And like bringing awareness to the fact that not everybody has the same sprint when it comes to college baseball and college sports, and then just kind of talk about the portal and everything like that.
Well, this is the last championship that will happen before college athletics changes forever.
Oh yeah.
So it almost seems ideal that we have a field that has a ton of variety, like where you go, okay, maybe it does not have the overwhelming size of fan bases that are going to be here, but there's good baseball teams that are here. But it's also from teams that maybe don't get to a full 11.7 scholarships, and also next year won't have a fully funded 34. So this is like perfect to have the last championship before Rev Share kicks in July 1 to have something like this, the variety. So I don't think parity is going to all of a sudden creep in. I mean, we could turn around next year and 6 SEC teams will be here, but I like this field. This should be a fun College World Series. We'll have plenty to talk about. The first game is this afternoon at 1, Arizona and Coastal Carolina. And if Murray State wasn't here, Coastal Carolina probably would be the darling of Omaha back for the first time since they won the national championship in 2016. Mid-major powerhouse from Conway, South Carolina.
Well, they've kind of taken that run that they had in 2016 and built upon it, right? And then just continued to just, stack pretty good years and be competitive. And now they're back at the College World Series. And I think with Coastal Carolina, that's another coach too, and Kevin Schnall, who, when he steps up at the podium and he talks to people and and he's got his story.
You like the podium.
I'm a podium guy.
You get enamored by any coach that says words at a podium.
No,
You've never said
that's not true.
That coach sucks when he talks. Never.
I
get all these texts from you and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy put a sentence together. I melted.
That is not true at all. First off, I'm a great note taker. Okay. I'm a really good note taker. And you'll notice that if I like a coach, right, there's a copious amount of notes that go into what they're talking about. If I don't like a coach and I don't like you saying, there's not a whole lot of notes. All right. You want to go back to the files. There's plenty of Nebraska assistant coaches that have gotten very minimal on the tweet. Okay. I just don't choose to go, oh, that guy is awful at talking to people, because typically head coaches are pretty good at talking to people. But in particularly, Dan McConnell and Kevin Schnall are very good at talking to people. And I think the combination of the fact that everybody loves the underdog, everybody loves the mid-major, but then they also like people that are easy to root for and that show some personal human emotion, and that's a guy that has shown plenty of personal human emotion, and they've carried that into having a really good baseball program and getting back to Omaha.
Yeah, the Arizona Coastal Carolina game is an interesting game to start, and then Louisville, Oregon State played tonight. Everything is muted by what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You can't run away from, I know we're supposed to, hey, everybody should be treated equal at our state fair. Tomorrow night is the game that everybody is talking about. And it's kind of, I think it's taken a little bit away from the opening day, because wherever you look, people like LSU, Arkansas, you knew they were going to meet. They were either going to meet in the championship series or they were going to meet at some point in the College World Series. And now they play on a Saturday night. Oh my God, get me to that game. Well, before that, we have 3, in my opinion, really good matchups before we get to that. But it shows you LSU and Arkansas, how big of a deal is it that game is the last game of the 4 to start the College World Series. And a majority of the people are taking shots and talking about that game.
This might be a stupid proposition or a stupid question, but
there are no stupid questions.
Do you think it might
in class when you're taking notes?
Do you think it might have been better to put LSU Arkansas on Friday at night?
No.
No, because then it still would have been a night game. It still would have been a really big deal, but then we wouldn't have we'd pay a little bit more attention maybe to these 2 games that are going to be very competitive.
Well, I think it's also, they both ended on Sunday. They both started on Saturday. They both ended on Sunday. The Saturday night from Rosenblatt to the Chuck, the Saturday night 6 p.m. start is like the prime time game. That's like the big game that everybody is going to tune into. So I wasn't surprised, and I'm glad they kept it there. It's just there is, like, you look at bracket 1, which is today's games, and then you look at bracket 2, and your eyes immediately go to LSU Arkansas. That's just what college baseball is for people that watch the College World Series and recognize brand names, even though, what do we have? Multiple national champions that are in this field.
Yeah, we have 4 teams that the last time they were in Omaha, they won a national championship, which actually is there's a lot of really interesting stats from like this group. It's the first time since 1957 that you have no returner from the year before. And then you have, in a year where we've had all this turmoil in college sports, you have 8 teams from 7 different conferences, 3 of which, by the way, 2 years ago were all in the same conference. And now one's independent, one's in the Big 12, and one's in the Big 10. Like, it's an absolute hodgepodge. But on top of that, like, outside of Arkansas and LSU, I think the next best story also plays on a Saturday, which is the Murray State Racers and taking on the UCLA Bruins, who, by the way, some shout out Whiskey Walker, who I was sitting next to in the press box yesterday because he was on baseball duty, told me that, and I didn't realize this, the last time that UCLA lost a baseball game was in Omaha at the Chuck, which is kind of funny to think about, the fact that the best thing that ever happened to them was losing Nebraska baseball.
So it was kind of I was working the Big Ten tournament, and when Oregon lost, everybody was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You guys will be back here in a couple of weeks." Well, they didn't even get out of their own regional. When UCLA lost to Nebraska, the UCLA, the sports information people and their media team, they were like, "You know what? If we get a good draw, we might be back here, but if not, we'll see you next year." Well, they're back here. My question is, with UCLA being here, and what has it been, 60 plus years since a Big Ten team has won the College World Series? People will notice, and they only have 2 teams, but the SEC Network is here. So the SEC Network does some live shows from their studio out in left field. And they do it as long as an SEC team is in the College World Series. And if you watch the SEC Network, they embrace softball and baseball, and they show it, and they do studio shows. Is the Big Ten Network, did you see anybody yesterday from the Big Ten Network that is in Omaha to do reports on UCLA?
I did not. I did not see anyone that looked familiar from the Big Ten Network. Too, on top of that, the ACC Network is also here.
Yes. I think our good friend Mike Rooney is doing some stuff for the ACC Network again.
So you have the ACC Network, who has 1 team, and you have the SEC Network, who has 2 teams, and they are both here. They are both doing shows, and they're both promoting their conference and promoting the sport. And you have the Big Ten, who has the same amount of teams as the ACC, and I didn't see one like person who looked very familiar, or who I like have seen on the Big Ten Network before. I didn't even see like a Big Ten Network like Polo, or a Big Ten Network like Quarter Zip, anything like that. I saw Clinton Yates of ESPN there yesterday. Didn't see anybody from the Big Ten Network.
Did he have his little tiny scorebook out?
No, but he had this awesome like striped hoodie, this vertical striped hoodie, like looked really, really cool.
Did you leave him alone?
No, yes, I did. I'm not a fanboy anymore.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
No,
can I take a picture with that? Not you, but can I take a picture with the hoodie?
I am a fan. I am a fan of his work. I do follow him.
He loves college baseball, by the way. He makes numerous. I think almost every year he comes in. But if you see him today, him and I had, because he's a pencil guy.
Okay.
So he keeps his scorebook, and it's a super like tiny scorebook.
Yeah,
and that's like his thing. So he keeps score when he comes to College World Series. Oh yeah, great guy that loves like almost everybody from ESPN that covers this event on a daily basis or a yearly basis. They love Omaha. And Clinton, I'm glad to see that he got into town yesterday.
He's been a guy who been following a lot like over the last like year and a half, who like he just kind of brings like different angles to things like that. And then he just popped up. I was in the line to get a turkey sandwich, and he was just there on the other side. And I was just like, oh wow, like that's Clinton Yates. I did not fanboy. I did not go up to him and be like, hi, Mr. Yates, nice to meet you. I'm Matt McMaster. I work for SIG. I didn't do that. So don't worry. I didn't embarrass the station, at least not yet. Give me 10 days and we'll figure it out.
We'll give you a couple hours.
Oh, come on. I mean, give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right.
I mean, come on.
Coming up on the show a little bit later, Mike Schaefer will join us. Another busy weekend of recruiting in Lincoln. The quarterback is back. Trey Taylor is back in Lincoln this weekend. Schaefer is back coming up at 9. Matt Verzal stops by at about 9:20-ish. That's part of the lineup brought to you by the Rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard. It's not only a great day to kick off the College World Series, we have 2 finals in the NBA, which we'll have game 4 tonight, and then the NHL, which had a banger last night. Plus, we have the Oak Monster, which is already eating up golfers this morning, and we have Dad's Day coming up on Sunday. We are about to embark on a great sports weekend, my boys and girls and my men and women out there.
We've had a couple of these in a row now where it's just like banger after banger after banger in terms of weekend after weekend after weekend where we're just loaded. But I am ready. You know what I'm most excited for? I'm ready for the Oak
all
Monster
the free
Day.
stuff.
No, I'm gonna man, smile and wave, and host a show. That's what I'm doing. Just, big old smile. Whatever Chris Prudon says, however how high I have to jump, I will jump that high. Gonna be hosting with Josh Peterson. If you look at the sheet, there's about 15 college football segments on there. So we'll be all of that.
So we have to lay the groundwork because we have a lot of people that are tuning in this morning that are from out of town that are not familiar with what we do here and think that it's going to be wall to wall 4 hours of College World Series talk, and then all the pre shows and then the post shows are going to be about the game. Okay, I'm just going to let people down that are coming from out of town and they're listening to this great radio station.
Thank you for listening.
We don't talk about college baseball. Okay. We are an event town that will talk about college baseball, but what you want us to talk about college baseball, those guys at D1 Baseball do a fantastic job.
Yes,
we are here to serve you during the College World Series at Omaha Baseball Village by talking about college football. Now, past history, the shows have changed. You know why the shows have changed?
Why?
Because usually the Phil Steele magazine would be out by now. But
Sure.
because of the portal and other things going on, it doesn't come out until July 4th. So instead of going through all 130 plus teams in college football out of Phil's magazine, we have to search for topics about college football. So before you call the radio station, because we get a handful of calls every year about why don't you guys talk about college baseball? You're at a college baseball event. We talk about the event, but we like to talk college football because 11 Fridays from now, we will spend a morning show breaking down Nebraska being 1-0 or 0-1. That's what we do. That's who we are.
It won't be all 130 teams, but man, we are going to run through the Big Ten. There's going to be. If you came here from the SEC, if you're a Louisiana State or an Arkansas football fan, you're going to go back home and be like, man, I think Michigan State's got a chance to be 8-4 this year. That's what you're going to leave these OBV shows thinking.
Actually, what we should do is all of the 8 teams playing, we should just break down their football team. Like if Arizona was hosting Coastal Carolina and Grayson McCall still had eligibility for the Chants, like how would they do against Arizona? That's what these shows should be.
Well, I think we can book the entire Murray State football team. I think the entire football team would come onto the show and just be like, yeah, no one really gives a damn or thinks that we exist. So like here, actually, they'll be like, do you know our football coach mows the field?
Hey, did you see? You remember when I said that thing is going to grow legs, and the next thing you know, he'll be painting the fence and all that. He dispelled that yesterday. That no, he does not mow the grass.
No, he does not. All right, they're small, but they're not like minuscule. Like they're mid-major. Like I understand the ballpark doesn't look the best, but he's not out there sodding the grass. You know, like he even said the even best part of that about that he was like, even in JUCO, I didn't mow the field. He was like, I was an assistant JUCO coach. I didn't have to do that.
So good on Murray State that they don't force their head baseball coach to mow his own grass.
Yeah, everybody thought that was cool. I immediately thought, kind of a bad look. You don't have a janitor, you don't have a groundskeeper or anything like that. Like, what do we?
He washes the uniforms. Hey, was he at the laundromat on 24th and Leavenworth? Yeah, that was the head coach of Murray State.
They were the only team wearing shorts yesterday for the practice.
Yeah, I think some teams didn't know what to wear. Like UCLA was in full uniform.
They were in full uniform. I was like, what the hell's going on?
But should we think differently about UCLA that a couple of days before they play, they're already dialed in. They're already
No.
ready to go. They're not
If
even going to
anything-
change. Those guys slept in those uniforms for the next 2 days.
The only time I was on the field is when they were practicing. It was hot. I was like, the amount of sweat that is, by the way, those uniforms look tight. Like seeing them in person, they look really tight on the body. Like, I hope that's like,
Okay, I didn't know
loose
if that
breathing.
was slang for tight is like cool.
No.
Kids say.
Like it looked like it was very close to the skin. Like it was like very much like a fabric on skin action. And
So-
I'm like, in this heat, I don't know if that's great.
Do you prefer a baggy uniform on a player, or do you
I
prefer
was looking-
tightness?
I walked out of the field. As soon as I hit the dirt, I was like, I'm dehydrated. I have to go upstairs. And because it
You're not
was
gonna
that
make
hot.
it. You're not going to make it.
And then I
You're not-
walked,
you're not
and then
gonna make it.
I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. And I walked in, and immediately I looked at one of the players. And I'm like, not a lot of breathability. And then I walked, and then I continued to walk through.
Followed by the guy
Into
saying,
the-
"Who the hell was that guy?"
I mean, look, Jimmy's always talking about how this is the swamp ass Olympics. Like, I'm a little bit worried about UCLA.
I said there's a swamp ass warning, which there will be this weekend.
By the way,
the weather's going to be fine. It'll be. We live in Omaha.
Well, no,
this
I'm
is what
saying
Omaha
it's
is
fine.
like.
I'm saying for baby's first College World Series, it might be a little warm, a little muggy for him. It's going to be low 90s, low muggy.
young man's first College World Series, not babies. It's supposed to rain. I'm already looking at the weather. By the way, I've never looked at the weather.
No, whoa. No, you don't.
Look
Do
at
not.
the
Do
weather
not.
now.
Do not mention that. Do not mention that. The sun always shines in Omaha in the middle of June. It's in the sun.
Before we get to break, I do want to let you know before we get there that I don't know if you saw what happened on Twitter last night, but I have beat.
Well, what part of the country?
My part of the country. My specific tweets.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
No.
So yesterday, Josh Peterson, which might be the only person that has a better
works
Twitter
here.
handle than I do, tweeted out, "Hey, I'm very excited to host the Omaha Baseball Village show with Matt McMaster. It's the
Yeah.
first time we're going to be on the radio together. It's going to be a good time."
It'll be fun.
And
A blue
it's going to
pill.
be no.
The
It's going to be
radio
awesome.
was a blue pill.
What happened?
And under the replies, our guest at 9:00 today, Mike Schaefer, tweeted, "Oh, I'm really interested in doing a show with Matt McMaster. I really don't know how it would go. Maybe we'll get him on a side session this season." Gary, Mike and I have done 2 Sunday side sessions. We have not done one, but we have done 2 on separate occasions. Also, we didn't just do any side session. We did the last side session for the Pinstripe Bowl. The last time that Mike Schaefer recorded a Sunday side session, I was his guest. And he has totally forgotten the fact that he hosted not 1, but 2 of them with me. So much so where he goes, "Man, I have no clue what Matt and I would be on the air. We have been on the air for 2 hours together." So apparently I'm the most forgettable guest of all time, according to Mike Schaefer.
Did you respond to him?
I go, not only did I respond to him, I went back to the podcast page and I took the screenshots of the 2 side sessions that we did together. And I was like, "Hey dude, like what is going on here?" And then he went ahead and was like, "That's AI. That's fake. That never happened. I would never forget a guest."
Well, you can confront him coming up at 9:00.
I can't believe I'm that forgettable. It was 2 really good side sessions too. One of them was for Northwestern. It was an hour.
Judging by Shape's tweet, it was very memorable to him.
Super memorable.
All right. You have the lineup brought to you by the roofers at John Higgins Weather Guard. You can always join us. Tips for the College World Series. Also, why aren't the orange cones out of the way with construction in this town? That is not I-80 around Giles and 144th. Because it seemed like they added projects yesterday.
I was going east on Dodge and they weren't cleared.
Yeah.
They're clear west on Dodge.
Somebody did not get the memo that the College World Series is in town, because I think they added projects yesterday.
They're like, we're going to make it even more miserable.
You know what? Screw those people from out of town. We don't want you to move here. You're going to be so disgusted. We just want you to visit. We don't want you to come in and raise our taxes.
We're a town of 1 million. We don't need to be a town of 1.1.
Yeah, we just got to 1 million. We don't want to grow that quickly. Plus, we just got a new mayor. It'd be overwhelming for John. All right. The Prairie Flower Casino hotline for you, 402-951-1620. Split show in the home studio and in the real studio. Jimmy is here as well as we kick off the College World Series. 75 years in Omaha. The place looks great. Doesn't look 75 years old.
It looks good. They did a good job setting up.
And if you know a 75-year-old or more, or they've been married for that long, let us know. We'll give them a shout out. They might even be at the ball game today, which they should. They should embrace 75th anniversary people.
Shout out Grandma.
Barbara and Gerald Skiles in Scotts Bluff, for example.
Abuelo and Abuela. It's only people like that.
Don't think so. All right. Off and running. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
If you've got heart, come on out to Werner Park. We're gonna make some memories for the Chasers family.
Every Thursday home game is $3 Thursdays with the Omaha Storm Chasers. Thanks to Pinnacle Bank, you can select tickets, concession items, and 12-ounce Busch Light cans, all for just $3 each, while supplies last. Get tickets at OmahaStormChasers.com.
Omaha Storm Chasers family. Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm, we're family.
They say in Nebraska there's a calm before the storm, but those storms in the aftermath can be anything but. Trust the team at AGR Roofing to have your back. From free inspections, insurance claims, to full roof replacements, we're Nebraska's storm recovery experts, experienced, reliable, and local. Visit agrroofingandconstruction.com to set up an appointment. AGR Roofing, your calm after the storm.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Cheeseburgers in Blackstone District. Get $50 in gift certificates for only $25. That's right, just $25. Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint, has savory smash burgers to crispy chicken to all beef dogs and sides. Cheeseburgers, located at 40th and Farnham.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRUNK for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRUNK for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRUNK.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle. based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The hottest months of the year are also the most dangerous, not just because of heat waves or storms, but because they stress the power grid to the limit. That's why My Patriot Supply created the Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator. It delivers 3,300 watts of power, enough to run fridges, freezers, power tools, and more, all without gas, noise, or fumes, using free energy from the sun. And for a limited time, when you order a Grid Doctor 3300, you'll get 2 free 200-watt waterproof solar panels. To claim your free panels before this offer ends, shop mypatriotsupply.com/radio. Whether it's summer blackouts, hurricanes, or just peace of mind in uncertain times, the Grid Doctor Solar Generator has your back. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/radio, mypatriotsupply.com/radio, and secure your Grid Doctor 3300 with 2 free solar panels today. mypatriotsupply.com/radio.
Gary and Matt are back on 1620 The Zone.
Gary Matt is brought to you by AGR Roofing and Construction, agrroofingandconstruction.com, local quality service, AGR Roofing and Construction.
All right, let's say hello to our people that are up and early that are streaming with us.
Yes.
Good morning, Kevin in Lakeland, Florida. Good morning, Justin. The cap is up and rolling today.
Early today for the captain. Love to see
It
it.
says, how many games will Murray State win? We had a number 4 seed win. Fresno State won 5.
Yes.
We had Stony Brook, I think, went 2 in the queue. Oral Roberts won a game.
I said they won 1.
I would go with that. I would take 1.
You know, it was funny yesterday. They didn't do Murray State a lot of favors during practice, putting them right before Arkansas, because they went ahead. Murray State went ahead and hit, and you could kind of tell who the Murray State starters were and who the guys like who aren't really playing this year. And then Arkansas went right after them, and you just see how just big and strong and fast all those guys on the Razorbacks are, and you can't tell who starts and who doesn't start, and like, because they're all just absolute studs. And Murray State's a good team who deserve to be here, who's made an absolutely incredible run. But I feel like we could have like maybe don't put them right before like probably the best team here, because it just wasn't the best look for the Racers. Like, I just want to throw that out there. I just want to, for those who were there.
Yeah, but they didn't Ole Miss look the same way, and they walked into Oxford and won that regional?
Absolutely too. But I was just from an optics perspective. I'm not talking from the baseball. Okay. I'm just talking from the optics.
I will give you an example where I know where you're coming from. So when Omaha played St. John's,
okay,
and Omaha has more guys in the last couple of years that look like they have, I don't know, Big East bodies.
Yeah.
But when you were watching like KU and Arkansas and St. John's go through their practice day, and then Omaha comes out there, and we had a handful of guys that looked like they were mid-major guys.
Yeah.
But it's David and Goliath.
It is. But once again, maybe we put them like before, no offense to like maybe Coastal Carolina, the other mid-major team, or maybe we put them before like Louisville, like no offense to them, but they're not like a ranked seed. Like putting them right before the Razorbacks and Dave Van Horn and that machine. Like we could have done them a little bit of a favor. But I think they'll win one. They're a good team and they want to win. So I mean, that's not great analysis. All these teams are good teams.
Hey, they're in town and they want to win.
There you go.
Quick check here. Let's do a couple of scoreboards here. At the U.S. Open, Brooksy baby, actually bogeyed the first hole. So he has fallen back to 1 under. He's 3 shots back. JJ Spawn does not tee off until 11:52 local time. And it is not sustainable what he did yesterday at the Oak Monster. Okay, so this is the first day of the College World Series, but yesterday was the first updated Jello Shot Challenge board.
I did see that.
I don't want to stereotype teams from the Pac-12, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. They might be more craft beer and wine drinkers than shots.
You're not
because
it's not a stereotype. That's just it's kind of a fact. It's kind
okay.
of
So
I mean,
we're spitting facts here.
you are.
UCLA,
by the way-
Oregon State, and Arizona are bringing up the rear of the 8 teams on the first Jello Shot Challenge night.
I think if you told though those former Pac-12 teams that they are wine drinkers and Napa Valley people, they would look at you and be like, "Damn right we are. We have some sophistication in class." Like, I don't think, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think UCLA is losing a lot of sweat off their back, being like, "Oh, we didn't take a lot of Jello shots." Which, by the way, I think the 4 Jello shots that they sold were with the 4 people I was drinking with at the Omaha baseball.
So UCLA 39. Now this is not good. So they're not going to break the record. The record was last year with 96,407.
Jeez.
And that was buoyed by, so they've had really great back-to-back years, and they do turn this into a charity thing. So there's money that is donated to charity out of this. So you had LSU in 23, you had Tennessee last year. They're not going to come close to that just because, LSU and Arkansas, one of those teams is going to be out of here early. They're not going to, they're not going to have 2 teams that are going to stay this long.
Good point. That's a good point.
So LSU, not a surprise, is in the lead. Then Murray State is, because I heard that people were calling Rocco's and they were ordering Jello shots for Murray State's total. And then whoever just walked in got could get a Jello shot purchased by somebody else.
So I went as a fan and did the whole Jello shot challenge. It would have been 2 years ago. 2 years ago I did it. And we went to the board and we didn't have a dog in the fight, right? We didn't have a team that any of our friends, like none of the guys had a school they went to, right? So we just identified, hey, who's like the darling, who's the Cinderella, and we are going to buy shots. So at the time it was Wake Forest was kind of like, all right, this is like the least known. Like there was a lot of big schools that year. I think for whatever reason we picked Wake Forest. I think that's going to happen with Murray State. Like I think if you don't have a dog in the fight, like you're not an alumni or you didn't go or you're not currently going there, you're going to be like, all right, who's the one? Like who's the one who probably wouldn't win? It would be funny if they ended up winning. It would be Murray State. So I think they're going to have a lot of legs. Like I think the SEC donors and whatnot are going to show up for Arkansas and LSU. But I think the people, if you are a man or a woman of the people, you're buying shots for Murray State.
Ben says in the Equitable Bank inbox, he goes, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But those are rookie numbers, UCLA. They're currently at 39. LSU is at 525. And at some point, I would think, during LSU's stay here, the guy that founded Canes will show up. Because when he was here 2 years ago, he stood in the middle of the bar and bought like a just obnoxious amount of shots.
Even in Jello shots, NIL money wins. I mean, just the world we live in. Nothing can be. I remember the days when the Jello shot challenge wasn't all about how much money a team had or what was in their pocketbooks. It was all about men and women coming together to get drunk. Now, corporate
Isn't
America.
that what the College World Series is?
Exactly. Exactly what it is. It's like
I think it's on the tagline.
Corporate America has taken over Rocco's.
Corporate America. So we both have walked through Baseball Village and have seen the abundance of vendors, and it's another banger of a year. Shout out Jenny and what they've done there. Is I don't have any kids that play youth baseball. We both know people that have kids that either they coach or they're heavily involved in. My God, that is expensive. So walking through and seeing some of the vendors, and they know their audience because there's a lot of kids that'll be in for the College World Series. The amount of swag that youth baseball vendors have available, like either gear to buy or other things, you could go bankrupt with having a kid that plays youth baseball with all the stuff they need to have and how expensive it is.
So,
it's like overwhelming to see the amount of like gear this year that's geared towards youth baseball.
Okay. So, and you know this, I don't know if I said this on the air, but every Thursday at my local establishment, it's you get a $6 burger. Okay. So it's like $6 burger day on Thursday. So I go every Thursday and I get a very affordable burger. And yesterday there were people who were clearly in town for the College World Series with their youth who was also playing like a baseball camp. And so there was about like 7 or 8 youth baseball players who were kind of running all over this bar. When I tell you that kids now are way cooler than what I was when I was a kid, like I was walking around in like Spider-Man boots and like, a camo hat and like a t-shirt. These kids have like, like puka shell necklace. Like you talked about the puka shell. Now it's just straight up necklaces. Now it's just straight up chains. Like it's the stuff that like I would buy and I would wear out currently. And then they have like the Oakley Pit Viper, Dylan Raiola sunglasses, right? They got the hats that they position like really like on top of their head so it looks a certain way. Like it's just like these kids are way better swagged out than I am. And now back to the people that I met yesterday at the OBV, they had youth baseball players that they were with, that they were in town to go to a tournament. And one of their
are they in town for the Slump Buster?
I think that's what it is. They came from
Mark
California.
Grace Invitational.
They go ahead and one of the kids said to his parent, "Every day I'm here, I'm buying something."
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like
the vendors. The vendors know their audience.
They do.
The last to support a friend, and we have a couple of coworkers who are heavily involved in youth baseball.
Sure.
I went to a game, and now they have walk-up music, like Team Mom will play the walk-up music.
I got apps for the walk-up music now, too.
But they also have, so every kid has his own bat, every kid has his own helmet, every kid has this really nice bat bag, and then they also, it's made its way all the way to youth baseball. Is they have the waffle mitt for sliding.
Sliding mitt.
Yeah, and they mimic the major league players they see, and the college guys that you'll see at the College World Series. They come up to the plate and they have it in their back pocket. And then I even saw this. So you got the sweatbands, you got the batting gloves, but then I noticed this, and his son is 12, and he's a really good player, and Dad's not psycho about it. He helps out because he knows the game. They have the elbow pads when they're hitting, and I'm like, come on,
it's 47 miles an hour. I mean,
like, no. Like honestly, at that age, it is. Yeah, there's some kids that have ramped it up a bit.
Okay,
but if you're coming I'm just telling you, you might want to put blinders on your kid if you have a youth baseball team, because there is so much gear to buy. It's overwhelming. You will run out of money before you ever get into the stadium. If you walk through Omaha Baseball Village and your kid says, "I like that," and you look at that bat and you go, "Man, I remember when I used to go to Kmart as a kid and I would get my first aluminum bat and it would cost like $25, or I'd get a wood bat and it cost $15. Now for $25, trying to buy a bat to play youth baseball, I might get the handle.
The handle, you might get the tape on the bat for $25. I'm not too far removed from my youth baseball days. We weren't stealing like the sliding mitt.
Yeah.
We weren't stealing bases. The ball would bounce by the catcher. It would hit the backstop, and then you would just run to second. Like there wasn't. Now maybe in travel, like they got the signs, because I have buddies who coach like 12U travel baseball, and they do signs and everything like that. But
we had signs when I played.
Like you don't need the run and gun though. Like you can, if you wait 4 pitches, at some point the ball will bounce in the dirt and you can take your free bag. Like the whole sliding mitt is wild.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of signs, with Dave Van Horn in town, when he was the head coach at Nebraska, he never changed his signs.
Really?
So he changed the indicator, like
sure.
Where you say, "Hey, the first sign I give after I touch the top of my head is what we're going to do." He would change the indicator, but he would, and you'd have to know what the indicator was on a game by game basis to know what the sign was. But in terms of like if they were going to hit and run, it was left arm, touch his belt, back to the left arm. Like Rob Childress went through it one day, but yeah, he never changed his signs. He just changed the indicator every day.
My buddies who coach travel baseball, they have like the football play sheets now, like on the arms. And so they'll call out like 0015 and the kid will have to find the number. I go, these kids are soft. I remember back in the day when, you're touching your face, indicator.
Hey, I forgot to ask, what were the coaches like at the 7-on-7 last Friday?
Obnoxious.
Did they have play sheets and everything?
No, but
Okay.
one of the coaches for Miami Raw was like, I told you where you're going to be. You have to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. And then a kid made like an incredible like interception that had nothing to do with where the coach was telling him to be. And the coach goes, see, when you listen to me, big plays happen. And I'm like, this is crazy, man. Like, this is a guy who probably played like D2 football who's just trying to relive the glory days. So, I mean, hey, to each their own. To each their own.
1 hour in the book. Again, today's a kickoff to the College World Series at 10 o'clock. Josh and Matt will be at Baseball Village. And then John, myself, and Connor will have all the play-by-play action of the opening game between Arizona and Coastal Carolina. When we come back, we'll try and figure out how Leon Draisaitl's goal actually went in last night as Edmonton rallied. Could have been miserable at the end of the third period. And could this be the greatest series of all time? Plus, we have NBA tonight. And I listened more to the Matt Rule, Jim Rome conversation.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. This kind of a comment about something just kind of slipped under the radar, but not old Sharpie. We'll discuss as we roll till 10. Shafe and Burrs will join us as well. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Rock Time Saving Traffic Center, happy Feel Good Friday. No accidents to report in the Omaha area. Heads up with the College World Series starting today. There's going to be a lot of road closures in downtown and by Charles Schwab Field, so be safe around those areas. But other than that, it seems to be pretty clear across the metro, so if you're just leaving for a commute, I wouldn't expect many delays. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled, eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janusek.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Hometown Hero Appliance Repair.
Servicing all major appliance brands for over 30 years, you could trust Hometown Hero to treat you and your home with respect. Hometown Hero techs are factory certified and have the skills to quickly diagnose and repair your appliances. Visit hometownhero.repair.
Need workwear that's built for the hot, humid Midwest summers? TrueWorks got you covered, no sweat. When all that corn sweat gets in the air, things get real swampy. TrueWorks light, breathable, sweat-wicking fabrics are a serious upgrade from heavy denim. Whether it's high temps or tight deadlines, TrueWork keeps you cool, dry, and focused. From articulated knees for mobility to UPF sun shirts with scuba hoods, it's the most technical workwear out there. Get 15% off your first purchase with the code SAVE15 at TrueWork.com. That's TrueWerk.com.
Why do people think the best fishing trips are just stories? It was this big, they say. Well, at Ballard's, we make legends come true. This September, hop on a deluxe motor coach to Lake of the Woods. 4 nights, 3 days of guided walleye fishing, and all meals included. Fresh, wild, walleye, the lake, and you. Head to ballardsresort.com to book your September walleye adventure on Lake of the Woods. Book your adventure, because the best walleye story is just a click away at ballardsresort.com.
Get ready to experience the excitement of college baseball's championship series in Omaha with Tickets for Less. Use promo code THEZONE to get exclusive savings on tickets for this year's games at ticketsforless.com. Every seat holds a story. Find yours with no service fees at ticketsforless.com.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. 'Tis the season to be weather aware, so when you're camping at a state park or recreation area, even though you have your phone with you, it's a good idea to know where you are from the nearest town for weather watches and warnings, and also to know what county you're in. Plus, it's best to have a severe weather plan in place before the skies turn stormy. It's all part of being safe at the start. Have some interesting numbers of nature to pass along. Did you know that Nebraska has more than 400 species of birds, more than 90 species of mammals, more than 100 species of fish, more than 60 species of reptiles and amphibians? And this isn't including all the insects, the plants, and the other wildlife. And you thought Nebraska's nature scene wasn't very exciting. Ha! I'm Greg Wagner with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission saying, we'll see you outside.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
When you're in the mood for a little change of pace, tune into Omaha's home for hits that rock. 101.9 The Keg. With rock hits from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Plus, we're your home for all Creighton men's basketball games. 101.9 The Keg. Hits that rock.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. And we're back. Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, day one of the College World Series. Hello, Omaha.
Hello.
Arizona, Coastal Carolina, the Cards and the Beavs, and then LSU, Arkansas play tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, Murray State and UCLA play. Welcome all 8. Seemed like everybody got through okay last night. I was looking at Omaha Scanner. No, the town is still standing.
Good.
We didn't have just pure, just out of controlness. So I think we're good. I think we made it through the night before the College World Series starts. So good to everybody out there. Congratulations.
Good to hear. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the same case when old Maddie Mack is on the town tonight. But, glad it's still standing for me to conquer.
Is that your goal, is to make, during the College World Series, Omaha Scanner?
No, God, no. I like my job.
Should be.
And I want to have
still
like
have
a good reputation.
You'll still
I'm unfortunately, I can't wait to get to the age where I just don't care anymore, you know? And I don't know
from my experience to be 41.
Then introduce yourself, because you're going to spend a lot of time with him, Josh Hodson.
Yeah. No,
I think Josh this year reached the age where he doesn't care.
That's like where Josh is at, and my dad just recently kind of hit that age too. Everybody hits it at a different point in their life, in my opinion. I can't wait until I hit that point. I just don't give a damn. I'm just gonna live me, and I'm gonna do me.
That might be Tuesday at the College World Series.
I think right now, we can say, for the safe part, probably another decade before I start contemplating, do I care?
Give him 6 weeks.
Yeah. Give me 10 days. See, I told Jimmy, I go, I'm going to be the brightest and the bushiest, and I'm going to do I'm going to do my absolute best, man.
I used to be that guy.
I'm going to hunker through, and I'm going to do whatever anybody needs me to do. And I'm just going to keep going until I break. And at some point, I'm going to break, and I'm going to have to take a deep breath and reset. But right now, we're going to go really, really hard and really, really positive until it's just like, until the wheels fall off.
We're happy for you.
Yeah, we remember those days.
No, we still remember those days. This is the College World Series.
It's gonna be
we get to be a part of the College World Series.
Shout out this jet fuel that'll be
make sure they're sponsored first
through the next 10 days right here.
Couple of tweets from stuff we talked about in the opening hour of Gary and Matt on a Friday, the College World Series. Happy 75th anniversary, Omaha. Don says, people calling in Jello shots from afar reminds you when the Cubs beat the Cards to go to the World Series, and some guy from Chicago trolled every sports bar in St. Louis playing Go Cubs Go on Touch Tunes. Spent like $500. Gotta love it. I remember that story. I also remember when Touch Tunes were a thing, and you would mess with people by being able to beat somebody to playing the tunes.
Oh, well, first off, Touch Tunes
on your app on your phone.
Touch Tunes still very much popular, still very much a big deal. If you have,
and there you
honestly,
have it.
Touch Tunes currency is low key a great way to introduce yourself to people. If you're a single guy,
really,
I've seen dudes.
Is this how the
Gary,
use Riz
This works.
Okay.
This works.
Explain more.
who had an exuberant amount of TouchTunes credit on his phone, where he could not only just pick a song, but like get his song to skip to the top. Okay. And he went up to a group of ladies and was like, "Hey, I have this amount of TouchTunes credit. What do you want to play?" And it worked. Like he went home with one of them. It was incredible. Like they just went through the phone, they picked the songs, they played their playlist, then he introduced himself. It was genius work. So yeah, it's still prevalent, it's still incredible.
Bruin Steve, who's been on Omaha Scanner, he said you'll be fine. Boy, of all of our listeners and interactors, he would be one of the last people I'd think would be on Omaha Scanner. But he says youth sports as a whole are expensive. I had a discussion years ago with my dad, and he told me that I would never played soccer and the costs what they were now. Well, also parents who have to pay to get in for AAU basketball. Yeah, you pay probably more for a weekend of AAU basketball than you might go to, I don't know, like today's game, Arizona, Coastal Carolina.
I can't imagine what the cost. Like, I don't know what the cost of travel hockey is now, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was really expensive. I could not imagine what inflation has done to that area of travel sports as well. I mean, all areas of travel sports have become incredibly expensive.
You live vicariously through your kids, and you want that free scholarship, and you want that NIL money.
My kid's going to play tennis. I'm just going to have him just get a racket. Here's a ball. Have a good time, man. Go get a scholarship. We're going to work on lateral quickness and arm movement. And that's how we're going to have a good time.
He's back for the majors. Brooks Koepka is now tied for third. He's now 2 shots back. He's even through 2. Yesterday at Oak Monster, there were more guys that on a bogey save were doing fist pumps. Usually we reserve the bogey save fist pump for our local tracks that we play on here in Omaha. I was watching at Oakmont. Somebody would get a bogey save, or DeChambeau would take that tour that he did on 12 yesterday, and when the putt finally went in, they were like, "Yes!" And you're like, "Oh man, did they just par or birdie that hole, or did they have an albatross like Patrick Reed?" No, they saved a bogey.
Do you have the highest score you ever fist pumped for? Because I've definitely fist pumped for a double bogey. Like I've had a couple of snowmen. Where just because, everybody is watching you and your struggles. Sure. And finally, when that final putt goes in and you throw an 8 on the scorecard and people are like, you going to, and I'm like, yes, 8 looks better than 9. So this happened to me 2 days ago where I chipped in on the last hole and I'm walking back up to the clubhouse and there are 3 guys there and they go, "Whoa, nice chip in. What, for birdie?" I go, "Bogey."
All right, before we talk about the business of being a quarterback at Nebraska on the Prairie Flower Casino Hotline, Knoxville Chris, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Gary. Happy opening day for the CWS today. Good luck in the broadcast this week. So I'm still bitter about the Rosenblatt move. I grew up in South Omaha, so I was part of the Cardinal series, from a personal standpoint for many years. I know you're from Lincoln, obviously, but if you ever played Spring Lake Golf Course, hole 2, my dad built the house right behind hole 2. So many broken windows on 17th and B Street.
I think I broke your dad's window not too long ago. I was literally playing that course 5 days ago. It's a tough hole.
On the hill, it's like 100 yards, but with the hill there, it's like 30. So it's a straight line shot there. But
hold on, Chris. Did your dad get pissed when people would hit golf balls into the yard or hit the house?
So no, I mean he knew
you got a house on a golf course. That comes with the territory.
He did. He knew what he did into, and I mean they removed a lot of trees behind that hole, and that used to be like a net lot, and now it's like bare. So that hasn't helped the past couple 5 years. But with the big opening day of baseball, I was wondering if you knew what famous sporting event or moment happened in baseball many years ago today.
How many years ago, Chris? Do you know how many years?
This would have been, I think, the 80s.
Oh,
and Gary, you should know this because we celebrate Festivus on the show. I'll give that's a clue.
In baseball? On this day?
The day is Magic Loogie Day. today is the day years ago attended that game and the Magic Loogie occurred on Seinfeld.
That is awesome. I had forgotten that it happened on June 13th, but yes, that's a classic. That's a great recall.
Yes, and I said it because maybe it's topic for a crossover, but is that one of, or not the greatest fictional sporting event that happened to be with real teams and real players? Because there's a lot of great stories out there about fake teams and you know that. The fact they used the Yankee or the actual Sparrow was with an actual MLB team, actual player, is that one of the greatest fictional sports moments with actual teams, actual players?
Yeah, because you threw in, because we never had a player in Ferris Bueller. Yeah. We just had a game, but yeah, I would agree that the Magic Loogie episode from Seinfeld is number one.
That one, or the second one, maybe two, is George Costanza had a key on the player, but he's supposed to go with the player, turns around to have a comeback on a he was supposed to take somebody into the Yankees office, didn't, and then he had to turn around just to throw something in someone's face, a comeback that he thought of on the way to take the player there, and missed the show. So
Danny Tartable. Yeah. Danny Tartable was the player. That was the scene when they were going to a charity telethon on TV.
Yeah, they turned around because he thought of a comeback for something that someone said to him, and he missed the whole thing. Yeah. But let's not bring that up. Great topic for later on the crossover, guys.
Hey, thanks, Chris. On the Prairie Flower Casino hotline, 402-951-1620. Why do all of a sudden all the phones that call 1620, whether it be at 6A or 6P, suck?
They're all under.
Is that us or them?
I have no clue.
All right.
Couldn't tell you. By the way, that is a crossover I will sit out on. I'll just be in the corner and I'll drop a quip here or there.
I mean, we had a Keith Hernandez episode on Seinfeld that was based off of JFK. How much better can you get than that?
You can't get much better.
You've got a project this summer.
Do I? I mean, okay.
You would do well to watch Seinfeld. I think it would help your life.
This is a good question. Because I do have to catch up on pop culture, and I'm going to have plenty of time to have a Major League Baseball game on the left TV and to have something that I can watch.
You can't. It's got to be full focus. It's got to be able to just one screen.
Would you rather me watch movies that I get made fun of for not watching, or would you rather me just go all in on Seinfeld? Because
do both. There's 24 hours in a day. You're only on the air for 4.
I mean,
it's content. It's yeah.
It's a good point.
And then they're 30-minute episodes. If you stream them, they're about 22. Boom, boom, boom.
Good question.
Next thing you know, you're through a season.
Who do you think is the better character, George Costanza or Jerry Seinfeld? Because when people talk about Seinfeld, they talk about George more so, or they bring up a lot of George stories or a lot of George jokes, and not necessarily what's the deal.
Okay, you are very much a non-Seinfeld person.
Okay,
Kramer would be ahead of George in my book.
Okay.
Jerry is Jerry. The show is based off of Jerry.
I know it's called Seinfeld.
Kramer I would put ahead of George, but that's what makes that show so great. The 4 main characters all have like equal idiosyncrasies.
And Julie Louis-Dreyfus is in that, right?
Yes, I would think you would enjoy her because her son played basketball at your favorite favorite school.
She birthed the 10th man of the greatest
President Selena Meyer
Wildcat team of all time.
Yes. All right. I want to read you a quote here as we transition. And sorry to all the Seinfeld followers out there. We're working on him. So the discussion that Rule had with Jim Rome the other day.
Sure.
And we talked about it yesterday. You know, you saw it in clips, like there was no pre-promotion.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched, and thank you to one of our listeners said you can see the whole. Oh, Ray said you can get it on Spotify. So I got a hold of it yesterday on Spotify. And you brought up the fact that he mentioned Dylan Raiola's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you brought up the part that people should talk about more.
Okay.
And this is not a surprise.
Okay.
But this is what Rule said about his quarterback in his conversation with Jim Rome the other day, quote, and everyone reached out to him. He could have taken the easy way and left and gone in the portal and gone to some place where he could start over and maybe where he doesn't have to do as much himself. But he chose to stick it out, fight, and came back. I've been excited to see where he's at. You buried that because I think that is pretty important, and it's an insight to a couple of things.
Okay.
One, it is a history of bouncing around. So if you're a college and you just looked at Dylan Raiola and he quarterbacked the team that did get to a bowl and won 7 games, why wouldn't you kick the tires? Your reps would reach his reps and say, hey, what's he making at Nebraska? Are you interested? Remember, the Dylan Raiola experience is a business. It's a business to get him to the NFL. It has always been a business. And I'm not surprised that teams kick the tires. You know, their reps reached out to either the family or reps from Dylan. You know, would it surprise you if a school like Miami or even Texas A&M, because you have a connection between Trev and Dad, but you also have a history of we bounce around. So let's see if there's some interest because we need a quarterback and maybe he's looking somewhere else. So that's why the whole hiring of Dana for Dylan mutes that conversation because, hey, I got you your offensive coordinator for at least the next 2 years. And that offensive coordinator probably isn't going to sign his deal until you commit to coming back. Okay. It's not going to be, we get Dana and then you decide, and then Dana says, I'm in. And you know what? If Nebraska has another 7-win season, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's not here next year. Because you're in the business of getting to the NFL and winning. That's how it works with high-level quarterbacks. Fortunately for Nebraska, I think his brand of getting to the NFL where he can get the most return on his investment is what he could do at Nebraska.
I agree with that because we have seen, like Quinn Ewers got knocked because he played at Texas. Like you get like Will Howard got knocked majorly because he played at Ohio State and had a lot of really good talent to throw to, right? So there is kind of that. It is weird when you go through like the whole NFL draft evaluation. There is kind of that happy medium spot of like you want to be at a place where you can put up enough numbers, but you don't want to be at a place where it's like, well, all the guys are doing the work for him, right? Which is kind of why, like, you know, Mitch Trubisky and Will Levis and, you know, Tyler Shuck, like they come from the ACC where they have some good talent, but they don't have that elite talent. They end up getting drafted pretty high, despite the fact that they're not at elite schools. Here's why I buried it, though, and why I didn't necessarily drop that when we talked about it yesterday. And maybe this is like a micro or a macro view of where college football is at. But when Rule said that, he was like, oh, you know, he had people reach out to him and he could have left. I was like, okay, like that happens. Like I was just used to it. Like I feel like that's kind of par for the course now. That if you have a good player, regardless of position, that any team is going to go ahead and give them a call and be like, hey, we'll probably have a shot at them right now. I do.
But do you think he said it? So this is true. I mean, this happened. But do you think it's more? He said it not on Dylan's behalf, but on Matt Rule's behalf.
Oh,
so it probably would have been easy to pull the cord, right? And to start shopping in December.
So what would
instead you have a quarterback that's like, okay, I see what's happening here.
Yeah. I know. So that's a great point. What is Matt Rule's behalf? Is Matt Rule's behalf being like, look at Dylan, like he believes what I'm building here, so he's staying here? Is that the angle? Maybe. I do also think, though, too, that I think you could say both. I think you could definitely say both. I think he's trying to prop up his quarterback. I think he's trying to get him in front of the light and build his brand and make everybody like him and make everybody pay attention to him. Because if you pay attention to Dylan Raiola, then you pay attention to Nebraska, which then you pay attention to Matt Rule. So I think he is trying to build Dylan up. But then everything that Matt Rule does and Matt Rule says is to make everyone believe that everything going on in Nebraska is incredible and that it is on the up and up and that it is the up and coming power in college football and that you should want to go there and you should want to cover them and you should want to talk about it. So I think it's both ways. I think it's slants. I think he's protecting his quarterback. I think he's complimenting his quarterback. But you're right. He's doing it for him too. Or not for him. He's doing it for the program, which then, he's
got a couple poster childs. Like Ty Robinson is a big poster child for what they're doing. Guy that came back who could have gone in either into the NFL draft or he could have gone somewhere else to play one more year. He'd been here a long time. They got him to come back and he got drafted.
Isn't it funny though that he has two poster childs, but they're for different reasons? So Dylan Raiola is the poster child to get high school recruits, and Ty Robinson is the poster child to keep his current players on the roster. Because if you're a recruit, you're like, Matt Rule goes, hey, look, Dylan Raiola's a 5-star. He's committing here. Look at the strides he took. And if you're a guy who's been on the team and you want to leave, then Matt goes ahead and says, hey, look, I know you want to leave, but look at what happened to Ty. Ty stayed here a year. Ty's now got drafted in the NFL. Ty's now going to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So Sipple talks about it a lot, but I do admire the fact that every word Matt Rule says matters. It's not a word salad. There's some it can get word salady. Okay,
I think I know you say that a lot, and I'm not disagreeing with you because I've told you that I think the head football coach in Nebraska is their best PR guy. But sometimes we go over the top, and you know why? Because he took over for a guy that was crappy at doing that. So there are times where he just says the obvious that we go, oh my God.
Yeah, he definitely has. That's a whole other radio show, by the way, of how much that he's benefited from the failures that have happened in the years previous. It's a little bit like...
Well, no, I don't know that. We're not past that yet. I don't think you can say that because it's all about on the field.
But I'm saying,
I think the difference is you have a guy who runs the football program in Lincoln that likes being here. What are you hearing from recruits that have been in the month of June? They're around coaches that have a passion for being at Nebraska. Have a passion for being at Nebraska. Nebraska isn't for everyone, okay? And especially, like Terrence Knighton, for example. Terrence Knighton, I don't think he liked the job. He liked working for Rule. I don't think Lincoln, Nebraska was for him. Okay. Nebraska was cool, but he was going to get home to Florida in some possibility and happened to be with Tony White. I think it's key that the different vibe you get from this era compared to the previous era is it starts at the top where the head coach wants to be here. That goes a long way in this state where that's the only show in town. If you get a sense that the guy that's running the show has the same passion that you do for the program that you support emotionally and physically and monetarily, you're going to have a connection there. So I think that's where Rule benefits because he's different from Scott Frost, who Rule openly, I don't think he's BSing. He wants to be here. You can sense that. He speaks it. He acts it.
I think it helps too in a roundabout way that Matt Rule also isn't a Nebraska alumni, not from Nebraska, not from the area of the country.
That's a great point because I think that's also you're talking about his athletic director too.
Yeah,
no preconceived notion. Don't know about the tit and the tat of all the stuff that's gone on, and you're in the middle of it, and people know you, and you already have established relationships. That's a great point about two guys that did not have previous connections to Nebraska athletics or Nebraska football.
They come in and they embrace it, and immediately they're like, "We love the state. We love what it has to offer. We enjoy the people." And it's not just the Huskers are the only thing in town. It's just state pride. There's a lot of state pride here, and the fact that
don't you think you have to? You're new here. I mean, you didn't grow up here. You went to school here, but you didn't understand it. I mean, I had to teach you what teams were from the Big 12.
Yeah,
it's an acquired taste.
But it
is an acquired taste of you have to understand. You kind of have to understand what the fan base is.
You do
because we're around here. The way we cover it, the way we talk about it, the way we consume it. There are other places around the country that have the passion, but man, this place is different. We'll take you through the ringer. We've been taken through the ringer, and we still keep showing up on Saturdays.
It is the most different from anything that I've ever experienced. But I will say this, and Matt Rule has done this, and Dannon has done this. I like to think that I've done it. If you embrace it, and you take it in and you acknowledge it and you say, hey, I like this and this is good. And I totally understand, like, hey, maybe you guys are crazy sometimes, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, people will embrace you back. And then he's done that to a certain way. But I do think that
you get a little if you do that, you get a little bit longer honeymoon that ends 11 Thursdays from yesterday.
So
the honeymoon is over.
It's exactly what
you got a couple of more months to have the honeymoon, to get on the boat and go to Greece. But then your honeymoon period is over. But somebody that is only a 500 coach through 2 years, coming on the heels of what we just had, your honeymoon would be shorter, but by your actions and your words, and you can actually see things that are growing.
Yeah.
You lengthen that honeymoon a little bit longer until it's time to play football, and there's no more honeymoon. Honeymoon is over.
It doesn't matter that the program looks professional anymore. The program has to be professional, has to win professional.
I agree. All right, coming up a little bit later, Mike Schaefer. According to McMaster, he's not very professional. I think Shafe's awesome. I love Shafe. Shafe and I have done so many shows together. Man, I mean, we even talk about a show we did in 2015 still to this day.
He's on my list.
He'll join us in the last hour, Matt Verzal, as well. On the opening day of the College World Series, we're at 10 o'clock. This radio station will turn the switch and we'll be live at Omaha Baseball Village. All of the smells and the
sweat.
People. No, they got big fans. You know what? People that are bitching about the people.
Like,
hold on, time out. People that are bitching about the heat. Okay, did you just get here? Okay, we're in the Midwest, and you know what? You don't have. If you prepare, you don't have to endure this. If you would have followed my advice in the middle of the winter in your house or in a hotel room, and you crank the heat up to 85, you're ready for days like this. You're ready for College World Series week. You know what? Be better.
Decade like you did. All right. We're not conditioned like you. We're all not like that. All right. I'm a Midwestern boy. I don't like the heat. I like it 75 and breezy.
But you act like it's new. Like, oh my God, global warming. We have heat and humidity in Omaha, Nebraska in the middle of the summer. Oh my God. It used to be tropical here. It used to be the San Diego of the Big Ten, and it was sunny and 75 every day. And the wind was blowing off Lake Zorinsky, and it'd come through the bay, the kitchen window. And then it would go with the smells of the muffins that we're cooking.
Hey, I'm king bitching. All right. You're not gonna hosting with you ain't gonna change anything, man. You can say you go on your soliloquies. I'm still gonna bitch and moan.
You took me there though. It's watching CMT.
Don't matter, man. Keep going. Keep talking. I'm still gonna complain.
Hear the George Strait.
Hey, grab some Mando.
Hey,
down there.
I got a new Gillette right here. I actually have it on the shelf.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm gonna grab it.
That's what she
I
said.
got two.
All
I
right.
bought 2 sticks of deodorant.
Oh boy, sunscreen as well.
Yeah, full bottle.
Yeah, and you probably went to CVS and it cost you about $35.
SPF 40, baby.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get you an update on what's going on at Oakmont. Also, what happened last night in Florida, and more college football. Because something big happened yesterday in the Big Ten that did not involve Nebraska, but Nebraska better pay close attention to this development. We'll get into all that as we roll till 10, and then we go to the Omaha Baseball Village. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. All right, as the big little baseball event begins in Omaha, you know what never stops? Moose Roofing, because they know that the most valuable asset that you own is your home. And you're thinking, man, my roof is in trouble. My siding has taken a hit and it's got to be replaced. My gutters are dingling and dangling. And who do I turn to? You turn to the MVPs of roofing in Omaha. It is Moose Roofing. They are Omaha. Local is a big deal. Pat Moose, former Nebraska walk-on tight end from Pierce, has made his home here in the Omaha area. And fixing your roofing, your siding, and your gutters has become a passion for Pat and his entire crew at Moose Roofing. This is how it works. Residential, roof repair service, commercial roofing, whatever you need, they're there for you. They just don't show up and put a new roof on your house because that would be very uncomfortable and it would be maybe illegal. But what they do is when you schedule an inspection, I've seen this firsthand. I've gone through the process. Pat and his crew, they will come out. They will sit down. They will get to know you. And then they will review all of the key elements of your roof. They will tell you how you can save money and what they do that is different at Moose Roofing, so you get the lifetime of your roof, your siding, or your gutters. They've been in business for nearly 30 years doing roofs, siding, and gutters from Western Iowa all the way to Lincoln. And don't forget, then you're thinking, okay, what do I do with my insurance company? Moose Roofing, an entire department dedicated to helping you navigate the ever-increasingly difficult insurance claims process. They are a one-stop shop for everything. Check them out today. Schedule an inspection. Online is where you can find them at mooseroofing.com.
Previously on The Crossover.
They could make national championship bonus $1 trillion and they would never have to worry about it one iota.
You know what? We're just going to pay you minimum wage. But if you win the national championship, we'll pay you $1 trillion.
$1 trillion. Now, hold on. Could this be a new market inefficiency for contracts and college basketball coaches?
$1 trillion.
I mean, what great motivation.
Gary and Matt, The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Partly cloudy, very warm, and a bit muggy here for your Friday afternoon as we head off and kick off the College World Series. High today of 89 degrees with winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight, remaining mostly clear to partly cloudy, still warm with a low of 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
Diamonds, gold, coins, watches. At Saul's Jewelry and Loan, we buy it all.
1620, The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Rock Time Saving Traffic Center, have a feel-good Friday. No accidents to report in the Omaha area. There looks to be stop-and-go traffic at I-80 westbound between Q Street and Giles Road. Could see some slow traffic on Dodge Road between 94th and 72nd going both ways. And there looks to be slowdowns on West Center Road between 192nd and 168th. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled and eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janisek.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Plumrite.
Spring is here, flowers are blooming, birds are singing, and your drains? Well, they're still clogged. Call Plumrite. Their spring drain special is just $63. And if they don't show up in 63 minutes, it's free. Freshen up your home, starting with your pipes. Call Plumrite.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Host Coffee is on a mission to invigorate every workplace with a blend of bold flavors and unforgettable service, creating moments with our coffee, water, and food services that spark joy, productivity, and connection. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
The 2025 Summer Performance Event is going on right now at Acura of Omaha. With more than 100 new Acuras to choose from. Acura of Omaha, 4211 South 144th Street, or online at acuraofomaha.com.
Your Nebraska Lottery has a monopoly on fun. Actually, it's our new $5 Monopoly 10X scratch ticket, and it's also part of a terrific second chance promotion. Until July 22nd, enter any non-winning $5 Monopoly 10X scratch ticket online for a chance to be one of 10 weekly winners of $1,000 or the grand prize of $10,000. Pass go and enter today. $5 Monopoly 10X top prize odds 1 in 114,000. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Hasbro is not a sponsor of this promotion.
Looking for tickets to the hottest events? Look no further than Tickets for Less. TFL has tickets to everything from college baseball championships to Husker football concerts and more, all with no hidden fees. Plus, score extra savings with promo code THEZONE now at ticketsforless.com.
Taco to go, taco to, and a big Q. Taco to go. Taco to go, just for you. Quick Trip Taco, just $2.99. Comes with a big Q, they feel so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose for $2.99. You really can't lose. Taco to go, taco to, this deal legit. Taco to go, taco only at Quick Trip. Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go, $2.99 to go.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Kettle to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's Kettle to 321-321.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back. Here's Gary, Matt, and Jimmy on 1620 The Zone.
All right, happy 75th anniversary, Omaha. The College World Series begins today. 8 teams in search of winning a national championship or to finish run-up to Arkansas. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. I'm just here to broadcast the games.
I'm just here to do the pregame shows and the intermission shows. So I think Arkansas will win.
The intermission shows? The between-game shows?
Like the between-game shows. Yeah, I'm a hockey guy. You know, it's just everything's intermission. All right? First intermission, second intermission, overtime intermission. I'm just intermission.
What are you going to do when college basketball goes to quarters? Man, we're going into the fourth period. It's happening. It's happening.
No, I don't. I don't want it to happen. I do not want it to occur. Just that we're killing everything that's unique about sports. Like we can't be different. Like when did everybody?
College baseball is different. We're not killing college baseball.
I know. I'm aware of that, but I'm just saying we are getting closer and closer to just uniformity across sports. And one of the cool things that I enjoyed was the fact that they were different games. That the college game and the pro game were different games. And I don't like that.
They're still going to be played. They're still going to be played. I mean, they will never be the same, and you're not going to see the amount of threes in college basketball
and the step backs. I know that, but I'm just old man screaming off a cliff at this point. Okay, this is the classic. Like I like my college sports the way I like my college sports, and I don't want things to change. All right, and we have to stand up for something. All right, this is an argument that has no true like water or like validity or like stats or analytics. It's truly just sport guy yelling at a wall, and it's not going to do anything.
Brooks Koepka, by the way, is
a shot back.
He is 1 under through 4 today. Brooksy is back. Scheffler fell off. He's 7 shots back. Scotty might be done, but Brooks is back, baby. Brooksy in the majors is back. He may have disappeared for a while, but after shooting a 68 yesterday, he is only 1 shot back ahead of JJ Spaun, who had an unbelievable round yesterday, which I don't think is sustainable, but kind of cool. Where you have 4 birdies and no bogeys on that course, and you save par numerous times. But here comes Brooksy. Here comes Brooksy, baby.
I woke up this morning thinking about Brooks Koepka. I woke up. First thing I thought I was thinking about Brooks Koepka.
Oh, okay. Can I ask for a friend in which way?
In the way that I saw him win at Erin Hills, his very first major.
Okay.
I was there. He drove by me in a golf cart and said hi to me as he was making his way back to the clubhouse. And so I've always been a Brooks Koepka fan. He's got to be like, you know me, I love doing the cross sport comparisons. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm pretty good at that, where I can like match, golfer with a basketball player, golfer with a baseball player. I don't think there's a cross-sport comparison of Brooks Koepka. Like, I think Brooks Koepka is one of the most interesting and like just dynamic athletes I've ever encountered in terms of the fact that the dude just turns it on in big moments. Like he will just be crap, and everyone will be like, well, he's not going to play well. Oh, I think he's lost it. Oh, he's going through some stuff, and then all of a sudden, a major hits it, bang, he's back in it. And
now, he's been quiet for a couple of years
now. Like that,
but that's all. But you know what? If I was in his, and he's on the Live Tour, so you don't probably pay as much attention to him. I'd just play the majors. I would just gear up for 4 times every year and try and win a couple, or at least one every single year.
He's got enough money to do that, for being honest.
Well, I don't think money's a thing. I think it's just, he plays on the Live Tour because he didn't have to play as much. And so what if he does well in the majors but doesn't win anything else? You're judged in golf by how many majors you win, right?
Don't you get to a certain point in golf with some guys where it's just like literally it's just you play 4 tournaments a year that really matter? Like, does it really matter for Brooks if he wins a Live Tour event? Does it really matter for Rory if he wins a PGA event? Like, they really are playing for just 4 tournaments a year to continue to add on to legacy.
And I think because the way that golf is talked about nowadays, golf has just become the majors for the cash. Yeah. There's nobody that draws the cash in on a weekly basis. As good as Scheffler is, he's not drawing in the guy that's going to watch a stop in Detroit.
I'm not watching.
If you're going to watch a stop in Detroit, that's the PGA or the U.S. Open. Hell yeah, I'm watching.
I'm not watching the RBC Heritage because Scotty Scheffler is golfing. But that's not a knock on Scotty.
No, it's where the sport is post Tiger.
Yeah. But I do think, minus the PGA Championship, the sport has done a good job of elevating the majors to the point where we are interested, to the point where we do tune in, to the point where
we always have tuned into the majors, though, haven't we?
But as the PGA events or like the other ancillary events.
Oh, okay. You're saying PGA events, not PGA Championship. Okay.
Well, I'm saying yes. So I'm saying even though that we don't care as much about the stuff that happens before the major, the sport has done a good job of keeping the majors sacred and the majors important. Like those haven't fallen off. While maybe the rest of everything that goes on around them does.
By the way, somebody who has really fallen off, and I watched him play yesterday, and I like watching him play, but it's a shame that Dustin Johnson is out just collecting a paycheck.
Yeah,
I think he got his glory early.
He had a win.
Other interests. He's just out there. He's not really competing. He doesn't look anywhere close to what he used to look like. He's just playing some golf and taking care of his sponsors and stuff. It's kind of a shame.
He had his window, and I don't think he won majors. Like he did his thing. Like if Dustin Johnson never won a major, it would have been what the hell happened here? Like how the hell did this guy not win one? So he did it. He won his. We're gonna remember him as a major champion. We're gonna remember him as he won the November Masters. Right. And, but he is a guy where you could probably look back and say, man, I don't think he capitalized on all the momentum that he had and the immense amount of talent. And he's a dude who, for a little bit, was known for blowing, big opportunities and events. Oh, yeah. And so, I mean, he was able to get past that to a certain extent.
Now, there's one other thing about a little bit of Dustin Johnson, but also Rory McIlroy is, and this makes me appreciate Tiger and Scheffler and runs like guys have had where they are winning not just majors, but they're winning weekly events. That is a sport where, and Rory's fighting it right now, that sustaining excellence, your window and how long you go, that's what, like looking at Tiger and then looking at what Scheffler has done, it makes me appreciate them even more when I look at a guy like Rory, who is really struggling right now. And had been playing pretty well going to the Masters. So he gets the Masters, but post Masters, it's been, I think he's played, this is his 4th event. It's been a roller coaster, but that sport for golfers that can sustain it for a long period of time, man, I tip your hat because that is a sport that mentally will eat you up. And I see Rory going through it. And then I see, like Scheffler had an Oakmont day yesterday. But I'm not counting him out, even though he's 7 shots back when the day begins. But sustaining excellence in that sport, man, kudos to those guys that have been able to do it for a long time and like don't win 1 in 14 and then come back 10 years later and win it. But like, like Jordan Spieth. We thought Jordan, like just kind of like Dustin Johnson. Jordan Spieth was supposed to be that guy that was going to, okay, he got one. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. He was going to be a guy that got the slam. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And he has ridden the roller coaster.
Well, that has been the era of golf. Like whatever you want to say, the post-Tiger era started, that has been the story of this era where you have guys who kind of come in spurts. So you say Spieth, I'll throw Justin Thomas at you about 4 years ago where, he wins his PGA and we're thinking, all right, like he's playing great on the tour. He looks awesome. This is a guy, he's going to rattle off a couple. Didn't happen. Look, Colin Morikawa. And Morikawa's saying, Colin Morikawa didn't miss a cut for his first, it was some ridiculous amount of starts on the tour. I don't know the exact number, but I remember looking at it and be like, damn. And then he wins a major in 2020. He wins one in 2021. And then he was teeing off yesterday. And I go, wow, he does. I forgot he had 2 majors. Oh, and by the way, he hasn't won one in 4 years. Like it's
hard to win. It's hard to win on that in that sport. It's hard to win. And especially when you're judged on 4 golf events a year.
But where do we judge Phil Mickelson? Like he's like we talk about that longevity. Like
this might be it for him because I think it's doesn't exemption run out after this year for the U.S. Open?
No, didn't he win one early enough, or was that the?
I think his exemption for the U.S. Open runs out, so this is the last chance to win this event.
Phil Mickelson exemption. He earned his time-bending victory in the 2021 PGA Championship and is reading. It seems unlikely Mickelson will be extended an exception next year when he returns to Shinnecock. Wow. But that's a guy though where
he's won enough though over his lengthy career.
I'm talking about longevity. Like when I think of longevity, I think of Phil. Phil has outlasted Tiger in terms of longevity, in terms of playing the game. Not in terms of accomplishment, but in terms of like being able to play the game at a very high level for an extended period of time. Phil has gone longer than Tiger. That's an interesting. I think I would have to like really look into it, but I wonder where golf experts would put Phil Mickelson on the all-time list.
You mean like top 10?
I would think knee jerk. I would say top 10.
I mean, his resume is for a discussion to put him from 5 back to 10, maybe a little bit outside of the top 10. Oh yeah.
You think his involvement in LIV affects that at all? Affects how we look at him?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things he's done in his career that we've looked at him for his gambling and other things.
Sure.
But when Phil Mickelson was healthy and he wasn't, what is he, 50 years old right now? When he was in the prime of his age, he was a must watch, and he was a guy that was winning.
Wow, he's 54.
Okay, and he's had what a 30-year professional golf career after he left college.
I think when I think of longevity, I think of him.
Well, you think in golf? So golfers, like we're in the moment of Scheffler that just keeps stacking victories.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for the golf to judge golfers, it is a marathon, not a sprint. Because what happens if a guy like Spieth, who, he was the flavor of the day and he was winning and he was young and we were like, this is going to be the next guy that breaks through. What if at the back end of his career, he grabs a couple of more majors?
Well, isn't that like Brooks? I guess it's not like the time span isn't, but there was like a gap. There was a good gap between Brooks's last major victory and the one that came before that, where you're like, all right, Brooks is back. And then Brooks went away again. And then now I think maybe he's back again, which it would be 6 majors if he won this one at Oakmont in his 3rd U.S. Open.
He is exactly 1 back right now. He is 1 under through 5.
I saw a tweet yesterday that 68 at Oakmont was the score in the 2006 PGA or in the 2006 U.S. Open, where Angel Cabrera had +6 won it all. So for people who are like freaking out about the whole 66 and this.
Well, Adam Scott said yesterday in an interview he thinks the winner will be 4 over. because of the way the course is. And by the way, if you look at a picture, a side-by-side, I think it is it 17 maybe? 17 or 6.
Okay.
If you go back to the last time when Dustin Johnson won there 9 years ago, they took out, 15,000 trees on that
Why do
course?
they keep taking out trees on these golf?
Oh, that hole, I think it's the 6th hole, looks completely different.
Scotty Scheffler talks about it great, where it's like he doesn't like how they're renovating courses and they're taking out too many trees, and it's just making it like it's making golf too much of a bomb fest. That you can just go ahead and hit driver, and it doesn't matter where you land, and then you figure it out. But I guess the rough, Oakmont's different because the rough kind of takes that out of play.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back again a little bit later. Mike Schaefer. It's another busy recruiting weekend for Nebraska. It's a busy baseball time in Omaha. Our sprint begins with the College World Series. Omaha Baseball Village is where you can find us between, and then, of course, all the games from today at 1 between Arizona and Coastal Carolina all the way through. The championship series are on your home for the College World Series, 1620 The Zone. Gary, Matt, and Jimmy back after this.
The MVPs of roofing are right here in Omaha, Moose Roofing. They've been in business for nearly 30 years, and they're local. They're here before the storm. They're here after the storm. Moose Roofing is going to provide a peace of mind in protecting your most valuable asset, your home. So when you're replacing your roof, look to Moose Roofing. They offer highly durable lifetime roofing solutions, ventilation expertise, excellent service, and they'll walk you through the insurance process. Locally owned, top-notch reputation. Because they're Omaha, contact them today at mooseroofing.com.
Call Moose Roofing. The Moose knows how to roof.
It's not too late to book tickets for your college baseball championship pregame tailgate. Book with Blur Parties at Hilton Omaha for the premier college baseball championship tailgate with an all-inclusive full bar and buffet, TVs, music, and of course, tailgate games. Blur Parties is located on the south side of Charles Schwab Field at Hilton Omaha. Visit blurparties.com to book your tailgate tickets ahead of time. But don't worry, they'll take walk-up ticket purchases too. That's blurparties.com.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Cheeseburgers in Blackstone District. Get $50 in gift certificates for only $25. That's right, just $25. Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint, has savory smash burgers to crispy chicken to all beef dogs and sides. Cheeseburgers, located at 40th and Farnham.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Defending your rights takes experience. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience spans 3 generations. Whether it's a misdemeanor, felony, or DUI, we bring the same structure trusted by local and national clients: courtroom preparation, sentencing insight, and real legal strategy. Schedule a consultation with your defense team today. Visit Sedoralaw.com. That's SODORO law.com. Or call 402-504-9346. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit Sedoralaw.com.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The Camping World Open House is coming to Camping World in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Join us June 12th through the 14th and take advantage of special open house pricing on the nation's best selection of new and used RVs. Don't miss your chance to enter the ultimate RV giveaway and win a brand new RV. Plus, enjoy exciting on-site activities the whole family will love. With an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget, there's never been a better time to buy. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Council Bluffs.
Treasure this summer at Funplex, Nebraska's largest water park and rides. Rush down a towering drop slide, race for first place in the go-karts, or maybe float your cares away on the lazy river. Hungry? We've got treats, eats, and even private cabanas to kick back and chill. And don't miss the all-new Shipwreck Chutes, dual slides with twisty turns and our biggest splash yet. Bring the whole crew and treasure this summer at Funplex. Get tickets now at fun-plex.com.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Car, the home of the roofery.
If the roof on your home or business received hail damage from the recent storm, there's only one call to make for an assessment. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery. Make the right call.
I could tell something wasn't right. My buddy Jake just wasn't himself. He seemed down. I was concerned about him and asked if he was thinking about suicide.
We all have a role in preventing suicide. Know the warning signs. They may not seem like themselves, be depressed, withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talking about suicide. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com with Gary Sharp and Matt McMaster.
Gary Matt is brought to you by AGR Roofing and Construction. Go to AGR Roofing and Construction right now to schedule your first free inspection.
All right, I got Arkansas knocking out LSU. I have Oregon State knocking out Coastal Carolina, and then Arkansas winning the national championship. My only hesitation is Arkansas brought a mascot. Mascots have no place in baseball, in college baseball.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't have an opinion on that. I do have an opinion on the fact that Arkansas Razorback mascot is awesome. He was.
Go to a wedding. Don't go to a baseball game.
Well, if you want him to do you think he charges $1,500 just like the Oregon Duck does to be at a wedding?
And worth every penny.
Oh,
how much do you think Herbie charges?
You don't think now that they're possibly going to allow weddings in Memorial Stadium, Herbie will be part of the package? You can pay extra to have Herbie show up.
Can you imagine? So you can have.
I have a little red.
You can have the little red package. You can have the Herbie package, or you can just have the regular package. How much extra
always
are you
be
paying
upsell.
for Herbie Husker to be at your wedding?
The current Herbie Husker?
Yeah.
No, not. They should pay me to have him at my wedding.
It's a good look for Herbie to be at Gary Sharp's.
Yes. I know there are mascots in professional baseball. Not everybody is the Philly fanatic, okay, or Clark the Cub with no pants. By the way, the Cubs might be in trouble.
So hard? Why is it so hard to put pants on a
exactly?
Been saying that for years.
Hey, people are wondering in Chicago this morning, why is it so hard to cover up your testicles? It's a new celebration by the Cubs that made it onto TV last night that there's going to be a lot of pushback on. But college baseball, no mascots. No mascots, no cheerleaders. Okay, send them to a wedding. We don't need them at baseball.
Hey,
baseball.
I'm in favor of what Justin Turner was doing yesterday because if you remember 2016, the crotch boom took us all the way to the World Series. So
for the record, they were fake. They were not his real testicles that he was.
I'm glad that we're putting that out in the atmosphere. I'm glad we have to clear that up.
Well, because Marquee has taken a hit.
Are they actually?
They showed it. They showed it on TV last night.
Yeah, I saw it. They were clearly fake. They're like the ones that you put on the truck.
I have a follow-up, but I will save that for after hours. Are we in agreement? Are you? Have I convinced you all week that Dave Van Horn is a sentimental choice to go out on top, to win in his 10th opportunity to win a national championship at Arkansas?
It is the best story. It is the best story, and I want it to happen more than anything because I want people who deserve to have a feel-good moment to have a feel-good moment, and that guy deserves it.
And I would like the game to end on a pop-up in foul territory, and Arkansas this time catches it against Oregon State.
And I would like it to finish in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That would be ideal.
Yeah,
that would definitely be ideal.
Nice. Be nice.
All right. 2 in the books, 2 to go. Again, this is the kickoff of the College World Series today. The 75th anniversary that we've done this thing in Omaha. And almost from day one of this radio station, which is now over 25 years old, it has been right here on 1620 The Zone. And it'll be back again today, beginning at 10 a.m. down at the Omaha Baseball Village, where Josh and Matt will kick off all of our coverage. We'll kick off more. We're going to talk a little Cruton coming up in the next hour. Don't forget Mike Schaefer and Matt Verzal still to stop by on this Friday feel-good edition of Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Right Time-Saving Traffic Center, heads up, there's an accident reported on Harrison Street at 138th going eastbound. There's a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder at I-80 eastbound at South Expressway. Looks to be slow traffic at I-80 eastbound between 144th and Giles Road. Expect slowdowns on L Street between 72nd and 36th. And it looks to be moving slow on West Center Road between 192nd and 168th going both ways. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled and eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janisek.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Hometown Hero Appliance Repair.
Servicing all major appliance brands for over 30 years, you could trust Hometown Hero to treat you and your home with respect. Hometown Hero techs are factory certified and have the skills to quickly diagnose and repair your appliances. Visit hometownhero.repair.
Make the most out of your summer for less at Croc Center Omaha. There's something for all ages at the Croc, from an indoor water park for kids to fitness programs for parents to art classes for seniors and more. And now is the time to join. Just $15 kicks off your summer. That's right, become a monthly member for just $15 through June, or pay your year in full and get 3 extra months free. The Croc Center is just moments away from the Kennedy Freeway in Q Street. Go to omahacroc.org for more information. That's omahakroc.org.
They say in Nebraska there's a calm before the storm, but those storms in the aftermath can be anything but. Trust the team at AGR Roofing to have your back. From free inspections, insurance claims, to full roof replacements, we're Nebraska's storm recovery experts, experienced, reliable, and local. Visit agrroofingandconstruction.com to set up an appointment. AGR Roofing, your calm after the storm.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
The Zone hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Tell us how you feel on the JTech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Reach Gary, Matt, Connor, Josh, and John anytime on JTech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. JTech Construction, your exteriorexperts.com.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Brian Barks, President and CEO of Food Bank for the Heartland. Did you know that right here in our communities, 1 in 5 children don't have enough food to eat? Let's give the kids the summer they deserve. Donate today at foodbankheartland.org and help us fight summer hunger today.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. Now back to Gary and Matt on 1620, The Zone.
How excited are you that the story of last night's Stanley Cup game number 4 is not about my tight end and his girlfriend?
Why were they there? I'm
hockey fans.
I'm not attached to this. I was watching the game and they popped up, and my first reaction was, and I swear to you, I go, nice, like they're together. Like I want that. I'm rooting for them. Like I want
them together. They might secretly be married. That's what happens with athletes nowadays. They secretly get married.
Both to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, in this instance, we actually know who she is. You know what her name is, what she looks like. You know, we don't know that her name's just Brittany, and that's just about it. What if Aaron Rodgers married Britney Spears? That'd be crazy.
Now we're talking.
That'd be
right.
incredible.
I'm here for that train ride.
That would add an insane wrinkle.
I don't think I read Revelations,
career.
but I might have to.
Can you imagine
I don't
Aaron
know
Rodgers
that
having a conservatorship with Britney Spears?
I don't know that I would even wish that on Aaron Rodgers. Do you know that when Britney Spears got married for like 50 hours, I was confused and actually thought she married George Costanza because she hooked up with a guy named, Jason Alexander.
Okay.
In Vegas, and they got married for like 51 hours in Vegas.
Please.
It was like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
It sounds like you're in Brandon Vogel's study right now.
Or Ross and Rachel.
Yeah, very peaceful. I hear birds.
There are birds outside of my window here.
Shout out to the birds.
I hear my computer having a heart attack right
now. But a 5-star series in hockey that last night, Florida was up 3-0. Then Edmonton went up 4-3. And then, because we've had 3 of the 4 games have gone to overtime, and now 2 of those games have been forced into overtime in the last 20 seconds. Florida gets it to overtime, and you're like, damn. And then, I don't know how Draisaitl's goal went in, but Edmonton evens the series. Now we go back to Canada.
That's a sneaky angle. That like lower like circle backhand coming in. Like you see that trickle in a little bit more than most people would expect. And I think it's one of those things where if the goalie is sliding, then that 5-hole gets open and you don't, it's like a changeup almost. That puck just kind of squeaks in there. You can't go back to Stuart Skinner if you're Edmonton, right?
No.
Like that, we're done having that conversation.
Yes.
Because that was an atrocious first period. Like that was and not just like like Skinner wasn't good, but also like an offensive zone issue was prevalent.
Well, in Edmonton hasn't played well in first periods in the series because it seems like they're always in the box. We haven't had a lot of 5-on-5 hockey in the first period of this series. But we're tied at 2.
5-on-5 hockey in Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, it was 5. I'm pretty sure we had as much 4-on-4 as we did 5-on-5.
All right, NBA is back tonight. Oklahoma City, I think, at a must-win game.
Yeah,
they are a 6.5-point favorite. If I checked the McMaster Sportsbook earlier,
I can go ahead. It was 6.5 last night. I did not check it this morning.
It is a must-win for the Thunder. Speaking of the McSportsbook, this
6
is
points. Moved.
Okay.
6.
It's gone down a half point.
Gone down half point.
Ooh, does that mean people are really doubting that Jalen Diet Wemby and SGA will shoot better?
Yeah, I think
2 of 11 from beyond the arc.
It's all 6. It's all match.
So we have an email here into the Equitable Bank inbox where they take banking personally. This is from Gene, and this is, I don't know why he didn't send this to you, but he just sent it to me.
A lot of people send you stuff that is directed at me. Matt at 1620 the Zone. Get my
they're spelling Matt wrong.
M-A-T-T.
I shield some things.
Matt,
I'll start forwarding stuff to you. This comes from Craig. He said, I was thinking of you guys, specifically Matt, yesterday when I was going out for my walk. I work downtown. I listen to 1620 The Zone. I listen to you guys coming in the morning, then I listen at work. And I was on my walk, and I was going across the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge like I do on a daily basis to get in my steps. As I was walking across, I noticed, because I notice this all the time, some out-of-towners that have figured out that they don't have to go to a casino to place a bet, that they were on the Iowa side of the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge on their phones. I heard them talking. They were making bets. Welcome to the College World Series.
I'll see those people there. I'll see you there. See you in our spot. Here's my thing though. We've all talked about this. I like the Diet Coke. I like the Pepsi. I like the coffee.
Such a bad take.
That's why I like going into the casino. I have gone into a casino, okay? And then I've looked at the lines and I've picked the lines that are better, and then I'll go back in my car, and then the lines that are better on the phone, I'll go bet on the phone. But
not everybody can do that. So I see you in the hotel parking lot over by Epley, which is geofencing in Iowa.
Yeah.
I see you on the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge. I see you on 80, pulled off to the side of the road. Okay. I see you in the Custard's parking lot off of what is that, like not Broadway? What like 24th Street or whatever?
There's that quick strip right off of the highway. You could stop in there. Gas station.
Yeah. Like you think, hey man, I'll go to the movie theater, or I'll go to the go-kart racing place. Oh no, I'm in a Casey's parking lot, and I'm all of a sudden trying to figure out, do I think that Oklahoma City tonight will cover, even though they're 0-8 on the road against the spread in the playoffs?
You're like,
I see you. We know. I mean, if you're one of them, you know, and you just give the head nod. If I'm walking by that guy on the bridge and he's making a bet, I'm like,
oh, you give him a little nod.
Yeah, because you know what, we know.
If you gave me a nod, I'd be like, what did you bet?
No, you can't ask another man about his bets if he's a stranger.
And I definitely want everybody's picks. I want everybody's input. I want everybody's picks, because you never know. Because here's what happens. You go, hey, what are you going to bet? And then they tell you some random ass player prop that you would have never bet and never thought of. And they're like, yeah, this stat, this trend. And you're like, that's a lock. And then you make it with.
But if I'm going to lose money, I want to lose money because I'm dumb. I don't want to lose money because I took bad advice from a stranger.
I don't. It's not hard for me to lose money being dumb. All right. I mean, you should
the whole goal is to make money. We want to be a 57% win percentage in gambling.
I'm on a heater. I'm currently, I don't know what I think I calculated, I have like a 13% win percentage, or I'm up 13 units on the year is currently where we're at. So I keep track on the phone, dude. Keep track on the phone.
Yeah, I've been following your U.S. Open bets.
We're
we'll take a couple of months off, right? After what's going on. You had a little carnage yesterday.
I'm going to be fine. I just, look.
You'll probably double down today.
Like
I can see that.
No.
Between games, you'll walk across the bridge. You'll double down.
I have summer trips that I have to take. And so I'm the $60 a week that I spend on gambling. If you crinkle that up, and you save that money
Read the pamphlet.
It's gonna save up for some trips. I'm also saving up for the football season, because football season is going to be degenerate season. But last year's football season, I ended up 9 units. So
Dave is chiming in. He goes, all the overs for the games today are 8.5. Does the stadium not play big anymore?
I don't really do college baseball. I don't bet. I don't really bet things I don't know all that well. I'll probably bet Arkansas to win, but that's more of like an emotional bet than it is like I actually know what's going on. I know the game and I know the flow. I'll bet golf though, because I know golf.
Brooksy has dropped a shot back. He is 2 back of the lead.
What the hell is going on? This thing's on Peacock?
Yeah, I know it's on USA Network.
No, it's not on USA Network. 911 is on USA Network. We can't get it on the studio.
What am I watching it on? I've been watching all morning.
We can't find it in the studio.
Well, here's the thing with Peacock that kind of bugged me yesterday is why are we getting these elongated commercials on Peacock? Don't we pay money on streaming to avoid what seems to be 75-minute or 75-second commercials?
I'm pretty sure
a station ID.
I think it's a premium thing now, because they run commercials, and they didn't used to do this during WWE PLE events.
Mm-hmm.
And they run those commercials during like the hype video packages. So like when they're hyping up the match that's about to come up, if you're not a premium Peacock subscriber, which I didn't even know was a thing, you don't get to watch the hype package. You watch a bunch of advertisements, which is so stupid because for years we've had Peacock and we didn't have to deal with now having to pay for something that we already had in the past. Like, I feel like I should be grandfathered into this if I, you know what I'm talking about, like not having ads.
Maybe I used somebody's account yesterday. Who was that account?
Because I'm pretty sure there's a Peacock premium. Like you got to pay a little bit extra to not get ad, which is so dumb. Why have me pay a certain amount? And just hypothetical number. Why have me pay $11.99? And for 3 years, I don't watch commercials. And that is what I'm paying for. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I have to pay $2 extra or $3 extra a month to no longer watch commercials. What the hell type of business is that? I've been a loyal subscriber. I've paid for this product. I'm watching it now. Now I have to pay extra for something that already was covered in my subscription package. It is so ridiculous. And this is because now I pay for my own things. So now
welcome to adulthood.
I didn't used to have this gripe. Now I have a lot of gripes about things. Because it's
welcome to the real world.
And I have some new subscriptions, but I'm a little worried because in 2 months I'm no longer going to be paying $1 a month for certain things.
Welcome to the real world.
I know. I've been living in a fugazi.
You've been living off your parents. That's what the thing has been.
Well, yeah, it's called being a kid. It's called being a.
Well, you're not a kid anymore. You're an adult.
I am an adult.
Yes.
Built my own thing. And built my own.
Yeah. All right, Mike Schaefer. One of my favorite adults is coming up at 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure he is.
Are you guys really going to fight? I mean, is this going to be a knockdown dragout?
I am a little I'm going to drag this out and joke. I love Schaefer. I'm not actually Schaefer and I are actually very good friends. He's been incredible to me. Love that guy. I am a little offended though, because if it's not just one Sunday side session, it's 2 Sunday side sessions, and it's not just 2 Sunday side sessions. One of them was 6 months ago, on one of the bigger wins, probably the biggest win in Matt Rule's tenure, and they both were an hour. I shouldn't be offended. Is that what you're saying? I shouldn't be offended that a friend of mine, Gary, have you seen the tweet? Have you seen his tweet?
I have seen the tweet, and he should have had #sarcasm on it, but that's okay. You got triggered. I'm looking forward to it. Shafe Jonas coming up at that 9. Speaking of recruiting, maybe Shafe can touch on this. In this, what we're about to go in is that development and recruiting and evaluation and less mistakes, keeping guys healthy are all important. You better be recruiting in the Big Ten. So UCLA has signed 5, or they have commitments in this upcoming class, 5 4-stars. Washington just went into Oklahoma and got a 4-star wide receiver. It ain't the portal. You better do some high school recruiting in the Big Ten to stay alive. I mean, the big boys, they're recruiting, and Ohio State's recruiting like crazy right now for the class of 26. But that middle pack where Nebraska wants to be a member, there are some teams like USC has had a monster recruiting year with just a gigantic class. I don't know how they're going to keep all those guys, but the Big Ten is recruiting really, really well right now.
Big weekend. It's a big weekend for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think they got 6 visitors, 4 of them are on defense. You got a little bit of flavor in terms of some 3-stars, a couple 4-stars. One guy from Sweden who they're competing with Georgia, Ohio State for, who they flew Terry Braden out to Sweden to meet the guy's parents, which is absolutely incredible. Which, good for coach, man. I hear Sweden is beautiful this time of the year. You know, maybe saw some sights, saw some mountains. Maybe you think he did skiing? You think he went skiing?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah. I'm sure he had enough time to go skiing, probably do a chalet, probably get some Swedish fish, maybe have some lutefisk as well.
I think that's an American thing. I don't think.
You don't think Swedish fish did not start in Sweden?
I think a Swedish fish is like salmon. I don't.
He
think
didn't hang out with Peter Forsberg, anything like that.
No, or Johansson, or Carlson, or Larson, or he probably ran into a couple of those guys with those last names.
Mike Schaefer is going to join us again coming up at 9. Matt Verzal as well. Josh and Matt will have our kickoff to the College World Series at Omaha Baseball Village. Stop by, say hello. We got goodies to give away. We got prizes you can sign up to win right there at Omaha Baseball Village. We're not hard to find. Look at where all the people are, and that's where you'll find 1620 The Zone. All right, when we come back, something that was done in Oklahoma yesterday that I wonder if Nebraska will do this. And if more schools will do what Oklahoma did yesterday, or they talked publicly about. We'll dive into that when we come back. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Partly cloudy, very warm, and a bit muggy here for your Friday afternoon as we head off and kick off the College World Series. High today of 89 degrees with winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight, remaining mostly clear to partly cloudy, still warm with a low of 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Diamonds, gold, coins, watches. At Saul's Jewelry and Loan, we buy it all.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Right Time Saving Traffic Center, heads up, there's a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder at I-80 eastbound at South Expressway. The traffic lights seem to be not working at North 60th Street at Sorensen Parkway, so be safe around those areas. You can expect slowdowns at I-80 eastbound between 144th and Giles Road, and expect delays on Dodge Road between 90th and 50th going both ways. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled and eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janasek.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's.
Tacos from Fernando's are nothing to joke about.
Why are tortillas such bad conversationalists? They always talk over you.
See what we mean? Fernando's. They're serious about tacos. FernandosOmaha.com.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carry-out location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Post Coffee stands as the vibrant heart of every break room, offering the unique fusion of traditional quality and modern flair. We're not just your coffee provider, we're the center of memorable workplace moments. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Good morning. A couple of $5 Monopoly 10X scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery, please.
Yes, sir. I don't mean to pry, but why are you wearing a top hat like Mr. Monopoly?
3 reasons.
Okay.
First, it matches the mustache.
I noticed. What is that? Cardboard with tape on the back?
Yeah, less work than actually growing one, right?
Okay, makes sense.
Second, if I enter any non-winning $5 Monopoly 10X scratch ticket online before July 22nd, I have a chance to be one of 10 weekly winners of $1,000 or the grand prize of $10,000. And the top hat would be a great place to carry the cash. Lots of room, you know.
I get that.
And third, I think top hats are making a comeback.
That's where you lose me.
Enter the Monopoly Second Chance promotion from your Nebraska Lottery by July 22nd, 2025. $5 Monopoly 10X top prize odds, 1 in 114,000. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Hasbro is not a sponsor of this promotion.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Cheeseburgers in Blackstone District. Get $50 in gift certificates for only $25. That's right, just $25. Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint, has savory smash burgers to crispy chicken to all beef dogs and sides. Cheeseburgers, located at 40th and Farnham.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
The 2025 Men's College World Series plays here on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Presented locally by Woodhouse Ford and KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Every pitch, every hit, every game. Also brought to you in part by Patera Landscaping, No Name Nutrition, and Cubby's Convenience Stores. Don't miss a minute of Omaha's biggest event, the 2025 Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Now, back to Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, happy opening day of the College World Series. Send us your obligatory picture that you take of the scoreboard or anything in Omaha Baseball Village because the College World Series is here. Of course, right here on 1620 The Zone. It is not a team that's playing the College World Series, but Nebraska baseball got their first pickup out of the portal where he went, an arm. They got a power-hitting shortstop from Washburn yesterday, or 2 days ago. Cooper Katsky is transferring from Miami of Ohio. The baseball knowers of the MAC tell me that this is a good pickup. 84 and 2/3 innings last year, 3.08 ERA. Nebraska needs bats, but they may have already, if Mason McConaughey comes back from Tommy John surgery, which let's say he does, you might have your weekend rotation already figured out from Ty Horn to, let's say, McConaughey, and then Cooper Katsky, who has committed to Nebraska yesterday out of the portal.
Sounds like a pretty damn good 1, 2, 3 to me. I mean, it's a pretty good spot to be in if McConaughey comes back and is healthy, and you're hoping that he is close to the preseason All-American that he was supposed to be this year. That could be a really, really good start to the offseason. It's just, like you said, they've lost a lot of bats. They got to go out and they got to get some bats.
They need bats. We need bats. There will be plenty of bats available in Omaha Baseball Village. What is more likely to happen here at the 2025 College World Series? Somebody from the Big Ten Network is here to do like a live hit, or Tony Petitti shows up, the commissioner of the Big Ten. Because people forget, but I'm here to remind you, the Big Ten has somebody playing in the College World Series. They may not feel like the Big Ten. They may not look like the Big Ten. People forget they're from Los Angeles, but the UCLA Bruins are representing the Conference of America, the Big Ten. Petitti or somebody from the Big Ten to do a live hit. What is more likely to happen in Omaha this weekend?
Petitti. Because if Jim Phillips of the ACC is here, and Greg Sankey is here, and
now Sankey will come. Sankey does come for the championship series.
Okay,
and but he's here, and he's a man of the people. He walks the concourse and shakes hands and kisses babies, and argues with fans.
And does he actually
goes to Zestos? No. Because of my relationship with Dari Noka,
okay,
and Dari and Greg Sankey are like super tight. When a couple of the LSU College World Series, we kind of hung out with Sankey a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome!
And so he does he walked around the concourse. He's the most powerful man in college athletics.
Good grab a beer with guy.
Yeah,
Greg
Sankey. I think he's a big runner. He's in great shape. But yeah, we walked across the street to Zestos, and he stops and talks to everybody.
He's in great shape. Good for him. I feel like
he does. Yeah, he has run marathons before.
That's incredible. If Jim Phillips, Brett Yormark, and Greg Sankey, the three commissioners of the other power conferences of college sports, are here, and Tony Petitti isn't, if I was an official at UCLA, I would be furious.
Now,
I'd be
to be fair, I don't know that the commissioner of the ACC or the Big 12 will be here.
Sure.
I just
sure.
know that Sankey has been here in the past. If the SEC is playing in the championship series, he's going to come here and beat his chest.
I'm just throwing it out there that if the other commissioners are here and the other commissioners come and show up and represent their conferences because they have teams representing their conferences, and Tony Petitti doesn't do that, if I were the UCLA Bruins, I would be very, very mad. And I think this whole discussion of like, okay,
they don't feel like a Big. By the way, they do not feel like a Big Ten team at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, not even in football and basketball. Like, when you saw him play in Lincoln, people forget that Nebraska beat Mick Cronin, and Mick Cronin had an interesting post-game press conference. It didn't feel like, oh, that's a Big Ten team.
But do you know how you make them feel like a Big Ten team? You say that they're a Big Ten team. You go on a microphone and you're like, we're so happy the Big Ten is represented. And you say, hey, we are so happy UCLA is in the Big Ten. That's how you make them feel like a Big Ten.
I think it's going to be a while. Well, this is just me speaking.
Sure.
I think it's going to be a while for me to look at UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington and go, Big Ten.
Yeah,
like Maryland and Rutgers, because of where they're located. I was like, yeah, okay. All right. Those four teams from the West Coast, like I watched an UCLA practice yesterday and thinking they were just here a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday playing Nebraska for the Big Ten baseball championship. The Big Ten. UCLA is in the Big Ten.
I will never look at those four teams as Big Ten teams. I will never, because they are just ingrained in my head as Pac-12 teams. But they are a part of the Big Ten. They are a part of the Big Ten.
That is factually correct.
And so you have to acknowledge, right, and say that these guys, you cannot redhead stepchild Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA from being like, you can't do that because they're incredibly important to the conference, right? And if they weren't, they wouldn't be here.
They came in and won your softball and baseball.
And they nearly won, and they won your football conference too. I'm talking about Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon's the Big Ten champions. Like they bringing those teams in was your counterpart to making sure that you still hold power in college sports in general. So I hope Tony Petitti is here. And like I know this is small grapes.
I don't think so. He's been silent and not really in the public eye with everything that has gone on in college athletics.
But,
like
sure.
When was and it isn't his MO. He's not like Greg Sankey, and there's no Feinbaum show to go on Big Ten Network.
Sure.
When was the last? And I'm not saying this is a bad philosophy, but when was the last time you saw the commissioner of the Big Ten publicly speaking?
Maybe was he around for the NCAA tournament for basketball? Make appearances then?
I mean, I'm sure he was, but
I don't remember. I really don't have any.
I haven't seen a lot of interviews.
I haven't read a Petitti quote where when I'm thinking about what we're going to talk about the show, that, hey, we're going to talk about this Petitti quote, or we're going to talk about what Petitti said, or where the Big Ten is going. That has not happened in the last couple of months. But I think my main point is.
But I think that's how the Big Ten operates, though, right?
That's fine.
I mean, the SEC has always been out front because the commissioner is out front and he likes doing interviews. I think the Big Ten has always been kind of quiet, where, the Ohio State makes more noise than maybe the league office does. Now, the perception of the Big Ten is much better with Tony Petitti as your commissioner than it was about Kevin Warren. But he might just be filling the role of what the Big Ten is, and the Big Ten is not out there. They're doing stuff behind the scenes, but they're not out there in front of microphones like the SEC, the ACC, or Yormark from the Big 12, who seems like every week he's doing a public interview.
I just think that these teams are quintessential to the Big Ten. Whether or not they should be in the Big Ten or not does not matter to me. It's just they need to be in the Big Ten in order for them to stay relevant and keep up with the SEC. And I would like it when these teams accomplish things that they get the proper acknowledgement when they accomplish them. They're just like when Nebraska accomplishes things, that we don't look at Nebraska as a Big 12 team. We acknowledge them as, hey,
I think it's location. So I don't think UCLA embraces being in the Big Ten for baseball, because they've talked more about the Pac-12 kind of over this run of, hey, look what the old Pac-12 is doing. Oregon State, Arizona, and UCLA all made it to Omaha.
Well, the funny thing is, though, is that
And they carry themselves as a Pac-12 baseball program still.
so there you go. Like, they don't carry themselves, and they're not necessarily like they have to adjust their roster to the Big Ten in football. Both USC and UCLA, they got to get bigger. They have to get a little bit more stronger. Like, you saw it, especially in that Wisconsin game that USC played, that they were kind of getting bullied around. They don't have to do that for baseball. They do not have to adjust to the Big Ten. If anything, they just have to make sure that their standards don't get lowered by the Big Ten, and that they don't become complacent, playing in the Big Ten, and that they continue to keep their high standard of baseball play. But you know where I'm coming from here, right? Like, they are a part of the conference. The conference is represented. You should be out here saying, hey, the Big Ten has a team.
But it is so it's a weird, and we talked about this in the Big Ten baseball tournament, I believe. It's the weird dynamic of, if you're the Big Ten, do you celebrate UCLA being in the College World Series? So this is another part of this conversation, because not everybody in your baseball conference is created like UCLA or wants to be like UCLA or says, oh my God, as an athletic director, my coach is going to say, hey, if UCLA can make it to Omaha, why can't we? And you're going to be like, a little bit different.
You shut that down immediately, because you're just like, there are different standards, there are different investments, and there's a different history there. But it's funny to me, and I think this just kind of goes to show the conversations that we have about how little Big Ten seems to care about baseball, where everyone is like clamoring for the Big Ten to have more representatives in football, in the college football playoff. Like, it's good for the Big Ten when they have representatives in the CFP, yet the Big Ten has a representative in the CWS, and it's not nearly the same in terms of
because you're not going to get your return on investment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, your return on investment of UCLA being here for the College World Series is minimal. It's great for UCLA. It's great for John Savage. He's one of the best to ever coach college baseball. But in terms of the conference, does it move the needle? If it did, wouldn't the network be like in Omaha, even though they're not an ESPN-owned outlet like the SEC and the ACC is? But it's not like they can't have access. They've been here in the past. When Michigan was here, when Michigan took Vanderbilt to the championship series, and I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't one of their main anchors. They did do some live stuff from like the right field.
Were they
right field concourse or something?
Were they here before they got to the championship series, or did they have to get there before people?
I think they were here and they were doing like packages, but then they did some live stuff when Michigan was playing for the national championship.
See, that bothers me a little bit. But that's just how it is. That's how, if you have to be in the Big Ten for a certain amount of time to be one of us, right? And unfortunately, I think for the West Coast schools, they're just so far located from what the Big Ten is that it may not matter how long they're in the conference. They may never be recognized as one of us.
All right. So when we come back, somebody who jumped conferences went before their board of regents yesterday and said something that I wonder if Troy Dannon will have to do the same thing. And as college baseball goes from 11.7 scholarships to you can fund 34, will you have to wear something on your uniform that designates that you're a program that funds 34 scholarships? Like, you know how if you win a championship, they put the little trophy or there's an insignia that you are part of a program that's won a championship? Like in college baseball, will you have to have a stripe on your uniform? Yeah, we are a full 34. Oh, no, you're not. Okay, we have the full 34 against the non-34 fully funded scholarship game today here at Charles Schwab Field.
Mom, why is there 19 and a half on the back of Nebraska's jersey? Why is the number 28 and a half? Why is there 28 and a half stripes on Nebraska's jersey?
What is it? Nebraska's is it 26? Is that what they're going to?
I don't know what the number is. I don't think that's been reported, and I don't know if. And I've heard varying numbers. I've heard 15 to 25 is probably, that's what I've been told. 15 to 25 is the range, which is, by the way, that's a big range. That's a really big range, 15 to 25. But that's kind of seems like where they're going to be.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Come back. Mike Schaefer a little bit later. Matt Verzal as well. And then we kick it to the Omaha Baseball Village to kick off the CWS coverage, where Josh and Matt will have shows this morning leading up to when we go to the booth. John, myself, and Connor will have the two games today. So we got it taken care of. 75th anniversary of the College World Series. Weather looks nice outside.
It does look good.
Birds are
Sun's
chirping.
coming out right now.
It's going to be a beautiful day. No rain.
It's pretty.
No rain.
It's pretty on Dodge right now.
All right. Spend your money. Spend your money in Omaha. Just don't get in trouble in Omaha. Leave our town alone.
No promises.
And enjoy our own orange cones as well. And I'm not talking about ice cream. We're back with more Gary and Matt with Jimmy after this on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Treasure this summer at Funplex, Nebraska's largest water park and rides. Rush down a towering drop slide, race for first place in the go-karts, or maybe float your cares away on the lazy river. Hungry? We've got treats, eats, and even private cabanas to kick back and chill. And don't miss the all-new Shipwreck Chutes, dual slides with twisty turns and our biggest splash yet. Bring the whole crew and treasure this summer at Funplex. Get tickets now at fun-plex.com.
A consultation at Sedora Law Group isn't a formality, it's a strategic session with experienced trial attorneys who've handled felony charges, DUI cases, and complex litigation for individuals and corporate clients. Experience matters. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience focuses on what matters most in court: posture, presentation, and legal credibility. Schedule a consultation at sedoralaw.com. That's SODORO law.com. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit sedoralaw.com.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've ever wanted to have your cake and eat it too, there's good news. You can have that every day at Equitable Bank. You get state-of-the-art mobile banking as well as online banking. And if you ever forget your password, don't worry. You can give us a call at 402-827-8100 and we'll answer it on the first ring to help. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRUNK for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRUNK for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRUNK.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains June 13th through the 23rd. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-471-9773. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-471-9773. That's 800-471-9773.
Now, back to Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back in. Gary and Matt split in the home studio. Matt is staring into the camera.
I was watching film. I was no joke. Seriously, I swear to you, I was watching film. I was watching Dayton Raiola and Darian Jones film during the break.
Okay.
Darian Jones has great football instincts. That's what I take away from that. Really good athlete, but great football instincts.
Okay.
Dayton,
I think he has a higher upside than his brother.
He's a really good athlete. But
those two who have brothers that are currently at Nebraska.
Yeah.
I think one of them has more upside than his brother who is at Nebraska that may start at a cornerback spot.
Is Darian is he long?
Mm-hmm.
He looks long on film, which is impressive.
He's kind of flown under the radar, had a really, really good year last year, playing both ways. He's got great instinct. His brother is a freak athlete, and Donovan's going to play this year. But that's one of those. If I had to choose, in Nebraska, in terms of like if you're going off top 10 lists of players in the state of Nebraska may only end up with one of them in the class of 2026. He's somebody that, and it's Iowa or Nebraska for him, and he'll announce on July 4th. He's from Omaha North. He's one that I think you would regret if he got away. Because I really like him. I like him a lot.
He's got his ability on his routes to understand where the empty pockets of space are really impressive. To all right, hey, I got to come back to my quarterback. I got on the scramble rules, right?
Watch they're recruiting him to play defense, though.
So he's a good tackler. He's got really good form. I was impressed. There's a couple highlights there where he just blows up screens. Even before the ball is snapped, you already see him kind of tracking toward the wide receiver, understanding that that's probably the assignment. And he did there's two plays on there where he passes off a wide receiver to the safety, and then he comes back down, and one of them he deflects the ball, and the other one he picks off the ball. It's really, he's a great athlete, but he understands the game of football really well.
They're really well coached in that program. Larry Martin and his assistants, they have some really good guys on that staff. All right.
Do you want to know what I think real quick?
Of Dayton?
Yeah. It's a lot of roll left and bomb it, which he can do. He can bomb it. He's got an arm, but the footwork is a little frantic. But he's got an arm. He's got an arm, and there's
two of them.
There's a couple throws where it's shoot. You see it. You're like, that's a good throw. I wish he would probably hitch a little bit more on his footwork, or he wouldn't be as babouncy, but the arm is there.
But he's not expected like his brother to come in and start day one.
No.
He's a project that plays in an offense where that is kind of their offense in Buford, because they got some big time wide receivers and they just chuck the ball down the field, and he's got an arm that he can throw it in the air 50 plus yards. That's kind of what they've turned into.
It's some good plays, but granted, it's an 11-minute video and I'm 2.5 minutes in, but I would love to see him throw a slant, or I would love to see him take a 5-step drop, step up, and pop it out somewhere.
Well,
but
August 14th, his high school will be on national TV.
I'll be watching.
All right, the College World Series kicks off today. Interesting game, good way to start. Arizona and Coastal Carolina, rematch of the 2016 final. The Wildcats went to Chapel Hill and won Coastal Carolina, the Chants have been rolling. They've won 23 in a row. Should be a great game kicking off at 1. And let's be honest, the first 3 games of the College World Series are just a build-up, and they're just an appetizer for the main event tomorrow night at 6 between LSU and Arkansas. I kid. But it has the vibes of Louder against Skeens in 2023. The build-up to Root and Anderson pitching tomorrow night in LSU and Arkansas. Because that game against LSU Wake Forest that went 11 innings and Tommy Tanks walked it off with a home run to send LSU to the final, which they would win. The vibe leading into that and the anticipation is very similar to what tomorrow night is.
If you had to pick, would you just take I'll give you this option. I'll give you the field or the winner of Saturday night's game to win the College World Series.
Whoever wins Saturday night. But even if, yes, I just looked this up. Skeens was 8 innings, 9 Ks in that game. Did not give up a run. Louder, 7 innings, did not allow a run, gave up 6 Ks. That's one of the better, since they moved downtown, that's one of the better games. So I think Arkansas is going to win. But let's say Arkansas loses tomorrow night. I like their chances better than LSU losing to come all the way back through the losers bracket to get to the championship series. Because I think Arizona's number 3, Arkansas's number 3 starter, I have more confidence in than LSU's number 3 starter.
I just think Arkansas is the best team, and so now anybody can lose at any point, right? Like I think Arkansas is the best team, but LSU can absolutely beat them. And I watched a little bit of LSU during the regional, and think that they showed a lot of really good adversity, during that time to go. Like Little Rock isn't the best team, right? But they were motivated and they had a great story and everyone was rooting for them and they were able to go. Like,
and they almost pulled it off.
Yeah, it takes a lot to shut that down, right? And they shut that down. So I saw Jay Johnson. I walked out of the media area with into the street with Jay Johnson. He's a very, like, he was meeting with fans. He's a very, like, he's a little smaller, but he's like, he walks like he's an intimidating walker. Like, you see him walk. I'm serious. I wasn't intimidated, but the guy's got a strut. Like I don't know.
He's got an edge to him. He had that. We got introduced to him when he was at Arizona, and ironically, he was the head coach of that 16 team that lost in the final series to Coastal Carolina. He was a great hire for LSU. You have to have a little. You have to have a little Dave Van Horn in you to coach at those kind of places.
He's a coach, or if I'm betting against a coach that walks like that, I'm a little nervous. Like he's just got that.
Not his left-handed pitcher who might be the number 1 overall pick that'll pitch tomorrow night. It's because of how his head coach walks.
Yes, that's my baseball analysis for you. I'm all about attitude.
That is why we are talking college football at Omaha Baseball Village, baby. We'll talk to you at 10. Okay, one quick thing here. I've been teasing this. So I saw this come across yesterday. Joe Castiglione, the fine athletic director at Oklahoma, which they announced, by the way, a 5% staff cut last month. And as we go into revenue sharing, $20.5 million, the cap is then going to increase at least 4% yearly for the next 10 years. He did something. He's the first athletic director I've seen say this publicly. And I wonder if Dannon will do this before the Board of Regents. So Joe Castiglione revealed, and they have 21 sports at Oklahoma, that they are going to share revenue with 6 sports. There are really 5 that are obvious at Oklahoma: football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball. And then they threw in women's gymnastics, which I don't know enough about that sport. I imagine Oklahoma is really, really good. But 6 sports that they are going to fund. Now, the rest do have full scholarships, so that's one of the advantages. Even though they don't get any cash, their athletes will be on full scholarship. 6 sports seems a lot to take care of if you still want to take care of a good, nice $13+ million chunk for football, doesn't it?
I thought 6 would be my number. So I was thinking about this, like how many, like 5 or 6 was the number that I consistently stood on. And I think how I would do it, and granted, I'm not an athletic director, but you have 3 sports, which you have a fixed cost. Like every year we are spending this amount of money on these 3 sports. And then 4, 5, and 6 are adjusted per year based on like opportunity, performance, and previous investment. So it's like, so how I would look at it for, if we're going to throw this in Nebraska, right? It's football, volleyball, basketball. Those are my fixed costs. And then I would do baseball, softball, wrestling, right? For this year, I would invest in those sports. All right. We're wrestling and softball. They had a great year. They keep it, whatever. But hey, women's basketball's got an opportunity to be really good next year. We're going to put a slice of the pie there next season so they can have a good year. You follow?
Yeah. I mean, it's tricky as an athletic director because if you don't, like let's say, and I think wrestling will be in the mix. And again, I don't know if, you publicly declare, hey, this is what we're doing. But you do, I keep going back to something I mentioned earlier in the week. I think we were talking with Andy Kendi, is you do face the possibility of alienating the fan base of that sport.
1,000,000%.
If all of a sudden they find out, our athletes aren't getting anything, but you're asking me to support them and support the athletic department. And then you call me up and you're asking for more money to support athletes. The navigation of how this rolls out and what sports, and they've already had these discussions. You have to be very careful. You have to have good communication because there'll be some people that'll be upset, whether they're coaching for you or they're supporting your program.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but would you say 5 or 4 for how many you would invest in?
I look at it as, what can Nebraska get the best return on winning? Football, volleyball, men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball.
We can talk about it in the future, but I do have an interesting question in terms of like percentages and ROIs, because $200,000, just hypothetically, goes a lot longer in women's basketball than it would in some other sports, right? Mm-hmm. So do you start weighing that too?
Yes.
It's a great combo. It's a long combo.
But I'm looking at return on winning. That's why baseball needs to be supported. Because if you are, I don't care if you're in the Big Ten, you can't treat yourself like a Big Ten program. You have to be able to say, okay, how do we compete nationally? Not how do we win our conference? How do we compete nationally? If you say that, that means you're falling under the umbrella of, okay, this is a sport that we're going to go in on. Okay, we're gonna give you a piece of the pie. But if you look at baseball, your return on winning, look at that ballpark being packed for 2 weekends, where you host a regional and maybe get lucky enough and you make it to a super and you're hosting a super. And then whoever knows, in a program that's only been there 3 times in the history of the program, you make it to Omaha.
So the question is basically, do you go with that model or do you say, hey, we could take the money we invest in baseball and put it across 3 sports and we can win at those 3 sports? Right.
But you got to start with football. And then, are you going to be just 13 mil for football? Or are you going to say, God, what could we do if we went to 15 mil of our 20.5?
I think
15. Mike Schaefer will join us next. Matt Verzal as well. Again, an hour away from kicking off the 2025 College World Series coverage right here on 1620 The Zone. Josh and Matt will be all week from Omaha Baseball Village. John, myself, Connor, Mike Farron, Nick Grimm, Chris Prudon will all be in the stadium with all the play-by-play action, which begins at 1 today. Arizona and the Roosters from Coastal Carolina. We're back with the final hour on a feel-good Friday edition of Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plumright Time Saving Traffic Center, heads up, the traffic lights are not working at North 60th Street at Sorensen Parkway. There looks to be slow traffic at I-80 eastbound between Highway 370 and Giles Road. You can expect delays on Dodge Road between 80th and 50th. Looks to be slowdowns on L Street between 96th and 48th. And it looks to be moving slow on West Center Road between 192nd and 168th going both ways. Make sure to keep your seatbelts buckled and eyes on the road. I'm Jake Janicek.
This time saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Got diamonds, gold, coins, watches. At Saul's Jewelry and Loan, we buy it all. Any size diamond, scrap, or broken jewelry. With 6 metro locations and immediate payment, it's no wonder why more people choose Saul's. Saul's Jewelry and Loan, where you get more.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've ever wanted to have your cake and eat it too, there's good news. You can have that every day at Equitable Bank. You get state-of-the-art mobile banking as well as online banking. And if you ever forget your password, don't worry. You can give us a call at 402-827-8100 and we'll answer it on the first ring to help. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
They say in Nebraska there's a calm before the storm, but those storms in the aftermath can be anything but. Trust the team at AGR Roofing to have your back. From free inspections, insurance claims, to full roof replacements, we're Nebraska's storm recovery experts, experienced, reliable, and local. Visit agrroofingandconstruction.com to set up an appointment. AGR Roofing, your calm after the storm.
Get ready to experience the excitement of college baseball's championship series in Omaha with Tickets for Less. Use promo code THEZONE to get exclusive savings on tickets for this year's games at ticketsforless.com. Every seat holds a story. Find yours with no service fees at ticketsforless.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Kettle to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's Kettle to 321-321.
Quiet down, there she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. Pull up a chair with Gary and Matt on 1620, The Zone.
Hey, Gary Matt is brought to you by AGR Roofing and Construction, local quality service. Go to agrroofingandconstruction.com.
All right, let's welcome in our next guest from Husker 24/7. If by chance Josh gets sick, it'll be Matt and Schaefer, who we introduced today. Mike Schaefer, meet Matt McMaster. Matt McMaster, meet Mike Schaefer.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Mike.
Hey, good to meet you, Matt. We'll have to see about getting you on a podcast sometime now that you're in the Nebraska media.
Schaefer there?
Yeah. No, can you not hear him? I can hear him. Can you not hear him?
I thought I was talking.
No, you're talking. Gary can't hear you for whatever reason. Are you all?
More.
Gary
more
has now
studio
exited.
issues?
All right, let's talk about this. First off, were you yanking my chain?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. All right. Did I fall
Maybe
for
just
it?
a small enough.
Did I fall for it?
When you posted the screenshot of the two summaries of the podcast episodes, I laughed pretty hard on that. So.
I was offended. All right, I was a little offended because you and we are actually friends, and you mean a lot to me. And I was legitimately hurt that I'm just a forgettable human to you.
Well, the fact that I actually did it once for me to play up the joke the second time. So
I was going to bring that up to Gary. I go, funny enough, you did actually forget about the Northwestern side session on the air.
Yeah,
and I called you out for that. And then
I'm glad that you did. I clearly don't remember enough of the month of October in 2023, which is unfortunate because that might be the best of the Matt Rule tenure so far. Well, think about it.
Well, they ended up beating a quarterback that ended up being better at baseball than football. So, I mean, That's I don't know how much of a feather in.
The only thing I really remember about that game is that Northwestern would milk the cow after a field goal.
They what?
That was like their celebration with their kicker. They would milk.
Can you keep doing the milking in front of the screen?
I'm doing the milking. I've milked a cow before. There's a science to milking a cow when you're a city guy like myself.
Jarvis,
it's from the mean streets of Urbandale, Iowa.
Wow. This is going places I didn't see today's appearance, John. But
yeah. Okay,
you never know what you're going to.
No. Do you have a because you haven't been to all 75 College World Series in Omaha, do you have a memory? Do you have a favorite College World Series memory, either joining us at Omaha Baseball Village or being in the stadium?
My favorite Rosenblatt one was I was at the championship game between Oregon State and North Carolina. I want to say that was 2006. I think that was were they doing best of 3 format at that point?
Yes, I think they had begun.
Yeah, and so several of us from the baseball team, we just had the Monday off or whatever. Decided to go down there on a whim and went and got the GA ticket, sat in the outfield and watched Kevin Gunderson pitch for Oregon State. And I want to say Andrew Miller was on that North Carolina team. So it was I remember that game pretty well, and that was a fun experience. That was like the first championship one that I had been to. As a reporter, I reached out in college to various teams that had made it to Omaha, seeing if newspapers needed anybody extra at the press box. And the Advocate in Baton Rouge responded, got me a press pass, had me cover their tailgate scene for LSU in Omaha for a couple days. And then for the championship series, they brought me in to write the Texas sidebar the year that LSU beats Texas, and Augie Garrido is so mad that he just goes on the bus and refuses to do his post-game refuses to do his post-game interview. They had to go drag him off the bus, and he sullenly sat in front of the microphone and said 2-word answers. It was, the stuff of legends right there from Augie Garrido. And then my favorite game ever with the CWS, and my memory of it is listening to the radio call, getting home in time to be able to watch the end of it. There has been nothing for me like the Paul Skeens Rhett Lauder game. That Wake Forest LSU game is the best game that's happened in that stadium. It's the best game for me in College World Series history. The amount of stars that I think we're going to see in Major League Baseball that come out of it is tremendous. And it was just an incredible game of baseball. Like if you were anyone that enjoys college baseball, I don't think it gets a lot better than that. I really don't.
Mike, we'll keep it local here. And I'm going to make a statement. You tell me if I'm absolutely wrong or maybe you agree with me. But after Matt Rule's kind of statements about in-state recruiting and kind of addressing the whole Iowa State Cyclone flavor that we've been seeing from, this 2026 class, is Darian Jones the most important recruit for the class of 2026 for Nebraska because of this kind of story of in-state recruiting with the Huskers right now?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it would be a really nice get, and the biggest reason for that is I think if Nebraska doesn't get him, he's going to Iowa, and then you have to play him. And Iowa's defensive back history speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. It's also one of these things where his brother is on your team. And I felt like Nebraska was a little slow to make the offer for what is either the first or the second best player in the 2026 class in Omaha. Mm-hmm. Depending on your thoughts on Isaac Jensen, I think either one of those guys would be my 1A or 1B there. And so to me, like it's twofold. You want to get them because you want them, but you also want to get them because you don't want to have to play against them. And I just think if Darian Jones goes to Iowa, he's just going to be one of those guys where we're talking about for 3-4 years where it's like, how did this guy not end up at Nebraska with his brother on the roster and all of that? So big weekend here with the official visit. I think Nebraska has to make up some ground. I think they absolutely can make up the ground. And I think this is sort of where Matt Rule and staff needs to shine, because Donovan Jones, by all accounts, seems to be very happy. He's going to have great opportunity ahead for him, and he can play the brother card with Darian. And if they make him feel comfortable and they make this feel like it needs to be the place for him, I just think the family is going to win out. And so it just feels like Nebraska has a small window of opportunity this weekend that they really need to maximize.
So they get the commitment the other day from Waterman, the offensive lineman. Does that feel like that's the start of the faucet starting to turn a little bit, and we get, as we usually do, 2, 3, maybe 4 June guys?
Yeah, I think, some of it was just they needed to eventually have official visits, and some of these guys that have been dangling a little bit on the hook. Rex Waterman I felt good about for a little bit of while. And then you have players like Hayden Ainsworth, who's set to make a decision, canceled visits. You got Luke Sorensen, who's set to make a decision. He canceled his Penn State visit. So all of that seems to line up pretty well for Nebraska. Or might be underselling it by the end of the month because, if you feel good about those two, you still have Cameron Wilson out there. You have Ryan Moret out there. You have guys coming in this weekend. You have guys in the final weekend. So I think Nebraska is going to be okay. I think the biggest thing to me is it's nice to get these guys, and it's nothing against Waterman or if they are able to get Ainsworth and Sorensen coming off of strong official visits. More so, are they going to add star power in this class? Can they get a legitimate player on the defensive front because they chased Titan Davis for so long and they didn't get him? Can they get a Baldwin Stone who's supposed to be in, the kid from Sweden that's at a prep school in Virginia? Can you beat out the Ohio States and the Alabamas and the Georgias and everybody else? That's tough to do, but ultimately it's one thing to add to your class and have 14 guys for your commitment class. It's another thing if you're going to have some difference makers in there. And I think with the question about what CJ Brano is going to do, the class is going to be fine in terms of developable guys, but do they have a star or two in there? That's kind of what I'm wondering right now, because I don't know where they're trending positively for that big commitment at the moment.
I'm going to ask about CJ Brano. How did that visit to Gainesville go? And where do you think Nebraska currently sits on a very soft commit at this point?
It seems like both the visit to Nebraska and the visit to Florida were good. The family, I think, likes Nebraska. They like the idea that this is a development program. They like the idea that, he might be a pretty raw defensive back and he's going to need a little bit of time, whereas sometimes you expect some of these younger players to be able to jump in right away. I think the idea in Nebraska is hey, you got the physical tools and all of it. Sure. Come here, let John Butler and Addison Williams show you how to shape those tools and get you to where you want to go. And, at Florida, the pitch is obviously you're emerged as a great athlete in this state. We didn't know who you were until you ran a 10-3, but now that we know who you are, we're very, very interested and you can stay home. Mm-hmm. And whether, I'm being overly cynical there or not, that's a huge pitch. Proximity to be able to play in front of your family is always huge. And so I think Florida State looms a little bit. Florida, I think, has felt good, but the fact that he didn't flip after that, the fact that he still had the Nebraska visit, there's still Ohio State and Penn State and Miami and Michigan sniffing around. I just think this is a recruitment that's going to go all the way to December. So where it sits right now still feels okay for Nebraska, but it's a long way. And if they can win some football games in the fall, that could really help them out here.
Hey, we've had both of these guys on the show before, but we don't work with them like you do. And I'm talking about Tom Loy and Andrew Ivins. And they were in town for the Friday night event, and they raved about the facilities and the passion that the coaching staff has. Is that legit from these two guys, or will they go to another event tonight and say the same thing? What was your takeaway from those two guys who you know pretty well and are big with 24/7, their reaction to Nebraska?
I think they were blown away, and it's sincere, genuine blown away. And, for a guy like Andrew Ivins, who's been to a lot of places, what he liked both was what Nebraska has to offer in terms of its facilities and the coaching staff, but also just the foresight and the creation of this event shows that Nebraska is willing to do things differently than other teams in the country, that they're willing to find find an idea that they think is invaluable and then figure out how to make it work inside the landscape of the college football rules. And for Ivins and for Tom Loy and for the Nebraska staff and anybody else who's followed this closely, it all comes down to how many times can you get a guy to campus? Because if you get somebody to campus as a 2028 or a 2029, they've already seen what you have at Nebraska. And then you turn around and you win a few football games. Then you get them back out for a game, in the fall. Maybe a 2029 like Maddox Portis comes out for the Michigan game this year, and then next year he's out for another game, and then after that you're talking about setting up the official visits. And so so much of it is just getting people to campus, in part because you want them to see what you have, but you also want these high-end talented guys to go back to the areas that they're from, talk to their friends and other fellow recruits and be like, you know, you might want to put Nebraska on your schedule. You might want to just go see this because nobody else has what they have. And I thought that was really genuine coming from Ivins. And I know it's similar for Tom Loy. I think both of them have been intrigued by Nebraska throughout their careers because they've helped cover it. And Ivins specifically with South Florida has talked to, you know, a bevy of the coaches that have been at Nebraska going back to the Mike Riley era. But to actually get out here and see what Lincoln is, and then see the facilities and everything, and then pair that up with Matt Rule, the coach, I think they walked away feeling positive about where Nebraska could go. And some of that is just the people that you're around, right? You know, like it's just like recruits have that afterglow about an official visit. It's no different for people who work in the industry when they finally go somewhere new.
You know, it's funny. We call them now the old school recruiting pitches, right? Proximity to home, program tradition, ability to win now, facilities like you just talked about. How have you thought that NIL has either amplified some of those pitches and maybe how NIL has decreased the value of some of those pitches?
I think a lot of that is just school dependent because everyone's going to be doing it differently. I mean, I think some of this for Nebraska is you're trying to weed out guys who are only interested in NIL opportunities and maybe don't seem like they're going to be a great cultural fit or don't want to put in the work on the front side and just want the bag right at the beginning of it. And I think Matt Rule was pretty brutally honest this spring when he said, like, hey, we don't know what the rules are. We're not going to go back on things. I don't think they're out here offering, you know, the bag for high school players because they want to keep whatever money they do have available for the top talent on their roster to retain those guys and to go into the portal and get somebody that can really help them out. I think part of why you have a small class right now is Nebraska wants to be flexible for what 2026 looks like. If they're in a situation where Matt Rule has to absolutely win immediately in 2026, you're going to see Nebraska go for more short-term options in the transfer portal. And so they're going to have some of that roster space. And so I just think it's a part of the picture, but I don't think the way that they're recruiting high school guys right now that it is the biggest piece of it. Now, the higher end of it, are you going to get a Valden Stone if you don't spend some NIL money? Probably not, but that's just part of it. You know, like they have to be able to put together a roster that isn't entirely dependent on, well, this kid's going to need $2 million, but he's never played a down in college football before. Like it's going to be tough sell for Matt Rule. And I just don't see them building their program that way right now.
Hey, the gated community of the Big Ten is recruiting well, and I'm talking about the Ohio States. It seems like the cul-de-sac community of the Big Ten is doing really, really well. USC, Washington goes into Oklahoma. I'm blown away by UCLA's start to the recruiting class. Any takeaways midsummer on what you're seeing in Big Ten recruiting that doesn't involve Nebraska?
Nothing too big picture. I mean, USC has always done what they're going to do. I think the big things are what Jed Fish is going to do at Washington. I think Washington's a program that, you know, they played for a national title 2 years ago. That coach went to go to Alabama. I think they maybe got written off a little bit in the Big Ten transition. But Jed Fish is a good coach. It's a good program. They have history. Like they're going to be, I expect them to be successful at some point. And I think they can take advantage of their newfound resources. I mean, some of this is these schools are coming into an amount of money that they just weren't getting from their previous stay in the Pac-12. And so like, how are you going to maximize that? You know, in what ways can you recruit differently or spend money on the recruiting trail or, you know, whether it's having a more organized staff or being able to pay for better personnel people or whatever it is, they can utilize resources in ways that they couldn't with their Pac-12 money. And I just think in the case of Washington specifically, I just think they have a good coach there. And so I'm very intrigued by what we're saying about the Huskies at the end of 2025 versus sort of how they were kind of ignored for all of 2024. So UCLA, that's a program that should always have access to talent in a way that very few teams do. It's harder to get in there, but they become sort of cool again with the transfer of Nico from Tennessee. Like I think the sort of way they ended last year, where they were playing good football, even though they didn't finish with a winning record, I think speaks to some people. I think they have a coaching staff that was maybe a little bit unsung, sort of coming in, and recruits have bonded well with them. But they're a program where, so much of the resources they have coming in from the Big Ten, they've already spent, because I think they were in such debt. So I don't know that they're going to get as big of a benefit in the way that maybe a Washington will right off the bat.
All right, we'll get you out on this. SEC or the field to win the 2025 College World Series?
Well, since only one SEC team can come out of one side of a region, or a bracket, I guess, whatever we call them, I'm going to take the field. Though, that being said, I think that if you were just going to pick one of the 8 teams, like I feel like Arkansas has the best chance of actually doing it this year out of everybody, and they're obviously the highest rated team in this thing. But I'll take the field over SEC, because I think while Arkansas is probably the best team with the best chance, the degree of how much better they are than everybody else doesn't seem that high. And Coastal Carolina is playing great baseball.
Yeah.
You never know. UCLA, it's weird. We watched Nebraska shut them out, but they looked really good as they marched through their regional and their super regional. So there's definitely some talented teams beyond just the SEC flavor.
Yep, absolutely. Shape, we appreciate it as always. If you're up, let us know. But as always, have a great weekend.
See you, Mike.
Yeah, I'll be in the area on Tuesday.
Okay.
Hey, as many people as I can.
Come by the spot.
I know where the spot is. I will swing by.
Beautiful.
Hopefully I can pick up some free sunglasses courtesy of the zoo, or a nice wet towel from the DEA last year. Just great stuff over by you guys.
There is. We got the best location of anybody.
Honestly, I believe that. It's a pretty fantastic setup.
No, we do. Thanks, Shafe.
All right, guys. See you.
See you, boys.
All right, Matt Verzal is going to join us here in a little bit. Matt's going to bounce, and then we want, when we get done with Verz, so we'll have like a 6 or 7 minute segment.
Yeah.
We want you, while you're walking, your first walk into the Omaha Baseball Village, to do a show.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we're still in the car by the time I get on the air, we might have to have the dump button ready.
You're good. I already checked. I checked with my sources. The back way to get to Cumming from the radio station. You're fine.
Bad drivers here, and I get mad. I get mad very easily.
All right, don't get in the right lane as you get towards the Creighton campus. Once you get on the other side of 75, be in the left lane, because a lot of slower people that are confused are in the right lane, and so they do a lot of stopping and starting. That left lane just flows right through. You go right by the ballpark into Lot D, you're fine.
Here's the problem. There was construction in that left lane. So I don't know
in this city.
I don't know if it's cleaned up. If it's cleaned up, it might be a 1 lane. That's how we're getting the Lot D.
All right, we'll check back with you.
Hopefully I'm out of the car by the time I get back.
Say that again?
Hopefully I'm out of the car by the time I'm in the air. That's what I'm hoping.
I got you. All right. Verz is going to join us next on Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
So, doing ecstasy on a boat, allegedly. He's maybe dating Cardi B. I'm not surprised to see him in practice. That seems like a standard NFL offseason.
In that situation, I'm almost assuredly going to work. Like I
you have to.
I can't do all of that and then miss a day of work.
Right. And then people are going to start thinking, is he on that boat again?
Uh-huh.
And did he bring Cardi B this time?
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7.
Partly cloudy, very warm, and a bit muggy here for your Friday afternoon as we head off and kick off the College World Series. High today of 89 degrees with winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight, remaining mostly clear to partly cloudy, still warm with a low of 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Call Moose Roofing. The Moose knows how to roof.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carry-out location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
Listen up. I got a secret weapon that'll make your family happy. Real happy. My new fiery Italian pizza. A bold pie topped with savory sausage, cup and char pepperoni, sliced hot cherry peppers, and mozzarella cheese. This pie's got a complex blend of flavor and a little bit of heat. Available for a limited time, so don't miss out. Order today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
It's not too late to book tickets for your college baseball championship pregame tailgate. Book with Blur Parties at Hilton Omaha for the premier college baseball championship tailgate with an all-inclusive full bar and buffet, TVs, music, and of course, tailgate games. Blur Parties is located on the south side of Charles Schwab Field at Hilton Omaha. Visit blurparties.com to book your tailgate tickets ahead of time. But don't worry, they'll take walk-up ticket purchases too. That's blurparties.com.
Cancer affects everyone. That's why Relay for Life is here. For every cancer, every life. Join us for the Relay for Life of Greater Omaha, Saturday, June 21st at Stinson Park. Let's celebrate every win. Let's remember every life. And let's fight back with all our strength. Thanks to the American Cancer Society, every LAT provides a free home away from home, free rides to cancer care, and free support 24/7. Together we can end cancer as we know it. For everyone, join us at relayforlife.org.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow. You always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities. So it puts less stress on our household and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Hey everyone, Jimmy Allen.
And John Schreiner.
If 6A to 6P isn't wild and crazy enough for you,
then we have the approach that no one else is bringing to the table, like who would win in a fight between a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich.
From hot take
to wild conspiracy theories,
we have you covered.
But we're also covering the usual suspects, like the Huskers, the Jays, the Bruins.
From the NFL and everything else, we're giving you the most unique coverage of high school sports.
Join us from 6 to 8 p.m. as the sports schedule allows.
Brought to you by Bellevue University
and Pyramid Roof Contractors on 1620 The Zone.
Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com.
All right, let's welcome in Matt Verzal. Verz, good morning.
Morning, boys.
First and foremost, congratulations to the Shrine Bowl last week. Last Saturday, we were talking. Cash played really well out at the Shrine Bowl, so good on him.
Yeah, he didn't do too bad. Got to get out there with some other of the talented kids in Nebraska and show what you got. Besides, proud uncle. But we went to eat after the game, and Cash had other plans set up. He was going to camp with his buddies or something. But we're eating in Kearney, and I will say his first name wrong, but number one from Millard South, Hill. He was in line at the same place, and I had on an Iowa Western shirt because that's where Cashman's going to go. And he said, he said, hello, my name is, and I say it wrong all the time, but he said his name, and he said,
do you have a tie to Iowa Western? And I said, well, my nephew's going to play there. And he kind of looked and he smiled. And I was like, well, who do you think it is? He's like, oh, gotta be Cash. He goes, yeah, Cash, it's going to be fun there. Da, da, da. But the reason that I bring it up, number one, it's odd that kids are that forward and play. And number two, you know, he's an immensely talented young man. And I was watching the game, and it's kind of hard when you got kids from the same school that are quarterback and receiver. They have natural chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't complain once in that game. He didn't throw his hands up that he was getting the ball more. He was just in it for the game and the team, and I was just incredibly impressed by him. Like, what a great young man he is. So that was a cool thing, because too often now, you know, if we see a guy that thinks he should get the ball more and doesn't get the ball more, you know, they're throwing a hissy fit and raising hell. But he's an impressive young man, and I wish all the best in the world for him. He just was a great kid.
I think you're talking about Amir Hill.
Yep. Okay, so I said Amir on the broadcast when I called it.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody texted me that was wrong. So then I get gun shy when I feel I'm pronouncing somebody's name wrong. Because with a last name like Versal, it just gets butchered, and I get used to it, but it's still annoying. And so I just say Mr. Hill.
Yeah. So he is, I'm not sure where he's going to college, but he is one of the best triple jump guys in the entire state.
He's going to Iowa Western too.
Okay. My bad. Which you know, as Stroh has put together a great class, by the way, of incoming freshmen for this upcoming season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it was he was that made my day. That really did. It was cool to have a kid that talented and that decorated be as humble and personable as he was.
That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that story. I think I've asked you this in the past, because a lot of people ask about, you know, the College World Series being in town and you being at 156th and Center. Do you guys get much business from the College World Series? Do you see an uptick on people that come out your way?
Yeah, we're a week two. We're a week two destination. So everybody, this first kind of weekend, you get down there and you go hard downtown. And you go to the concerts and the beer garden and the tailgates. Good luck, Kellyanne. And everybody down there doing their thing. And if you make the weekend, then you kind of venture out for more of Omaha. We have had one team reach out that wants to possibly use the party room, so we're navigating that.
Damn. Would they be a team that would be here next week?
They're pretty good.
All right. All right. I'd like to guess who that is, but I will not reveal it. But that is good for you. Will we see you in Lot D? Because you know that her invitation is wide open to all of us.
Well, here's the thing with Lot D, and if my phone kind of cuts in and out, I have made the mistake of texting Carla Luke, Rob Luke's beautiful wife, happy belated birthday. And Carla then will fire 75 texts consecutively. They are also in Lot D, so maybe I will probably avoid Lot D for a little bit. Settle down, because I don't know if I need to attend both of those tailgates and then try to circumnavigate back out to West Omaha.
Well, you know, I would love to have you back doing shows with us, by the way.
Paying $4,000 for an Uber.
Hey, I've told people, like tomorrow night with LSU and Arkansas playing, and you know that it's going to be a buildup all day of your fine spirits that stadium's going to blow a .316. If you're driving an Uber in Omaha tomorrow night after that game and you have surge pricing, you're gonna have a nice little paycheck coming your way from Uber.
You could probably retire. Well, here's my other question: is Louisiana like the richest state in the world? Because how do they travel so well?
Because they save all their money to support LSU athletics and especially the baseball program.
Yeah, but okay, I'm with you. What I'm saying is, like, they're probably getting hit up for NIL stuff.
Yeah.
They're getting hit up for seat donation stuff. And now you're to the back and like, yep, let's go to Omaha for 2 weeks. And all 9,000 of us are going to be there every day. Like, is there gold in Louisiana, or what happens there?
That's a good question. But you're going to support your team that wins, and so you're going to save your money. But you're right; it's expensive. Like I've told the story of Trevor Larnach, who played at Oregon State, and they won the national championship in 2018. They were here for 2 weeks, so his parents, who I got to know, they were like, "Yeah, we're spending well over $12,000 to stay in a hotel and to eat food. We're not complaining, but I hope people understand, or at least the NCAA understands, that it is a gigantic expense. And oh, by the way, there's a lot of schools that their parents have spent the last 2 weekends traveling afar to go watch their kids play in regionals and super regionals. Now they got to come to Omaha, where, hotel rooms are not $95 a night.
Man, what a scumbag move that is, too. Like, we had a guy that was working from out of state, and he said he had a room, was it Tuesday night?
Mm-hmm.
In the room. He's like, I was shocked. It was $100. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, just should lock that in for the whole weekend. He goes, yeah. They made it more than clear that Wednesday the price of the room was going to $300.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. I'm like, so what are you doing? And he goes, I'm going to stay with a cousin that I haven't talked to in like 4 years. Good on you, buddy.
Well, and it's like, it's for some of the business owners that run bars in that area. It's their 2 weeks. It's Christmas to them. You're somebody that can, have a business model where you have sustained traffic throughout the entire year. If you're in that neighborhood, you got 2 weeks basically to, I don't know, what do you think? Grab 70% of your profit?
So I actually lived this life. When I owned the Sidetrack Tavern in Lincoln,
mm-hmm.
we could make our whole nut in 14 days. The Friday, Saturday of the 7 home games that we had.
Damn.
So we could cover bills, get everybody paid. It was, yeah. But those 14 days were hell on earth. Like you were working from sun up to sundown, and if you'd never done that before, it was going to eat you alive. If you weren't used to that kind of work, you were in trouble.
Uh-huh.
But we had a lot of people that worked there that were, and it was awesome. And then, anything you could book for anything else was just gravy. So it was, that was when you learned mass movement. You're moving kegs at the old Sidetrack Tavern. Our beer driver won. They played, God, who was it? It was like Notre Dame and Oklahoma, maybe back-to-back weekends in Lincoln. And the second week of the back-to-back or whatever, if there's a space in between, our Budweiser driver, Jesse, may he rest in peace, he just said, we ain't leaving. We're just going to park in the alley. And so me and him sat on the keg truck, and then as the boys in the basement were hooking and rehooking kegs, we just shoveled them down this little ramp. So we were just chucking kegs all night, but we couldn't keep them. We couldn't keep them full.
Those were the days. I miss those days.
Oh, buddy, what a great. The world was just great. Everybody got to have a good time. Like, I mean, that thing. If we really, really like, you've been to the Sidetrack.
Yes.
That thing should have been a powder keg, just waiting to explode. Huge. But everybody went in, home team or away team. They were just in it for a good time. And Joyce, may she rest in peace.
Yep.
With her creativity and her songs and her calm nature, she was. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun part of it.
And because you're in this business now with Pisons, it's word of mouth. I mean, you don't do a ton of advertising, and if you do, it's usually to support. You got an ad in the program or something like that. The one thing with Sidetrack and on your current spot is it has a reputation. So like, okay, I come to Omaha, I got to go to Pisons, or I go to a football weekend, I got to go to Sidetracks. Okay, I got to see Joyce and the band. I got to be there. That's on my bucket list that I got to do in my 2 days. I'm going to be in Lincoln. And then once you get to that point, it's gold, Jerry.
Yep. It's advertising in all restaurants hard because unless you offer some kind of crazy deal where you make them bring you something, you can't track it. Mm-hmm. So my goal has always been to, if I can get word of mouth, and I'm a big believer that me as the owner, if I'm present or my staff is present, we're going to make sure that good people have a good time. Now, when you get good people that want to go tell other good people about your place, then you get a good base crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, and it's inevitable, and it's nothing against them, but you just got some people you're never going to make happy. And so then that's when, you know, one of the not fun parts of my job happens. But we fire customers. Like, I'll tell customers, you are no longer here.
I know you will.
You do not jive with it. You do not jive with their vibe. So we can't make you happy. Go find somewhere that makes you happy. And then the shock on their face is like, what? Like, I now have your name. I now have your face. Your picture's behind the bar. Don't come back in here. I will have you ticketed for trespassing. I'm like, I'm going to buy your meal. Have a great evening. And then we part ways.
I've seen that before, and you handled it very, very well, better than the person that you were telling that you didn't need their business.
Yeah, but that's why I just word of mouth. I just want to be a neighborhood spot.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be a spot where the neighborhood trusts it, and if you want to tell somebody to come, we're going to do our best to make sure they come back. But you know, I don't need some ass hat calling my girls that work there a B word, a C word. Like then me and you are gonna have a big problem.
Absolutely.
I did one night. I sold Paisans one night to Alex, my main general manager guy.
Yeah.
I sold it to him for $1 because there was a guy outside that needed to get it, and I had been polite. I had enough, and I said, just hold tight, grab a piece of paper. Said, I'm Matt Vrzal, Sound Mind and Bike, sell Paisans to Alex for $1. Voidable if it does not go down outside. Matt Vrzal, I had another customer sign it as a witness. Gave it to Alex. He gave me $1. I walked outside for the guy, and I was like, hey, I'm your huckleberry, bud. Let's do this, me and you. And then he didn't feel as enticed to call me all the dirty names he was calling me anymore, and he got his car and drove away. And so then I went back and I gave Alex the $1 back, and I took possession.
Perfect. That is so up your alley. Hey, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend. I'm sure we will see you out and about, or I will make sure that I see you.
Are you going to be in Dean? When are you going?
I'm down there the whole time. We're in the booth today, beginning at 1.
Oh yeah, duh.
So I want you to come back. You and I share something special about our Omaha Baseball Village shows that we had fun with some sponsors, and people to this day still talk about that year at the College World Series.
Still feel terrible. God, if only I had a sheet that had all the sponsors' names on it, I felt that would have went so much easier.
Hey, and now we do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Andy, you jerk.
Thanks, Verz.
Hey, boys.
That's Matt Vrzal. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll check in with Matt. Here at the top of the hour, we're going to the Omaha Baseball Village for the first time in 2025. Lots of stuff going on. Josh and Matt will be down there basically for the entire series. You got Josh Hodson is there. We stop by the way. Come find us where we're located. We got a great spot. There's a lot of our good friends that are around us. Plus, we have a lot of goodies that you need to stop by that you can sign up for and that we are giving away. So that's coming up at the top of the hour, and then 1 o'clock today is the first game of the 2025 College World Series. It's bracket 1 today, Arizona, Coastal Carolina, and then it's 6 tonight, Oregon State, Louisville. 2 really good games today. I mean, there's intriguing 8 teams, and then, of course, tomorrow, UCLA and Murray State, and then the big one, LSU and Arkansas, is tomorrow night. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll check in with Matt to see where he is located, if he is on his way into Omaha Baseball Village by now. He's been able to navigate the traffic, get into Lot D so that he can join Josh at the top of the hour. We'll do that when we come back. It's Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
They say in Nebraska there's a calm before the storm, but those storms in the aftermath can be anything but. Trust the team at AGR Roofing to have your back. From free inspections, insurance claims, to full roof replacements, we're Nebraska's storm recovery experts. Experienced, reliable, and local. Visit agrroofingandconstruction.com to set up an appointment. AGR Roofing, your calm after the storm.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've ever wanted to have your cake and eat it too, there's good news. You can have that every day at Equitable Bank. You get state-of-the-art mobile banking as well as online banking. And if you ever forget your password, don't worry. You can give us a call at 402-827-8100 and we'll answer it on the first ring to help. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Cheeseburgers in Blackstone District. Get $50 in gift certificates for only $25. That's right, just $25. Cheeseburgers, a takeout joint, has savory smash burgers to crispy chicken to all beef dogs and sides. Cheeseburgers, located at 40th and Farnham.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Why do people think the best fishing trips are just stories? It was this big, they say. At Ballard's, we make legends come true. This September, hop on a deluxe motor coach to Lake of the Woods. 4 nights, 3 days of guided walleye fishing, and all meals included. Fresh, wild, walleye, the lake, and you. Head to ballardsresort.com to book your September walleye adventure on Lake of the Woods. Book your adventure, because the best walleye story is just a click away at ballardsresort.com.
The Camping World Open House is coming to Camping World in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Join us June 12th through the 14th and take advantage of special open house pricing on the nation's best selection of new and used RVs. Don't miss your chance to enter the ultimate RV giveaway and win a brand new RV. Plus, enjoy exciting on-site activities the whole family will love. With an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget, there's never been a better time to buy. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Council Bluffs.
Taco to go, taco to, and a big Q. Taco to go, taco to go. Just for you. Quick Trip Taco, just $2.99. Comes with a big Q. This deal's so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose for $2.99. You really can't lose. Taco to go, taco to. This deal's legit. Taco to go, taco only at Quick Trip. Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go. $2.99 to go.
This is Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and Zone TV.
All right, again, coming up at the top of the hour, we'll take you to Omaha Baseball Village for the first time in the College World Series. Josh and Matt will have 2.5 hours of college football talk, giveaways, and much more. And with our newbie as part of the 1620 The Zone team, we're going to live vicariously through him. Have you made it into Lot D?
Hey there, long-time listener, first-time caller. I just don't think Eberflus is the guy.
He wanted to talk about the Bears.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is this 670? Hey, who is this?
God, it's so much. Just we have so many better callers than a major radio station in Chicago. I mean, it's amazing.
I just don't think a quarterback that paints his nails is going to get it done.
What if he wears a satchel and paints his nails?
I think he should look more like Patrick Mahomes. That would make him a real winner.
Maybe he should play more like Patrick Mahomes.
That would work. That would be great. We're just walking. We're just walking and talking.
Get those steps.
Okay, so give us a little. So where we're located, most people know we're at 50th and Dodge, 50th and Capitol. If you wind your way through Dundee, you can get on Cumming, and then it's a straight shot to the stadium. Yeah. How was the traffic?
Not that bad.
Have you been a
you
cost
definitely were right about the whole right-hand lane, left-hand lane deal.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely slower in the left-hand lane. And you kind of have to play a little bit of chicken if you're going to get into that right-hand lane. So I think establishing your dominance in the right-hand lane will give you a
Box
leg
out.
up on making sure you get to your zone that you need to get to.
Okay, so so the traffic feels like an Arizona Coastal Carolina 1 o'clock first pitch.
Yes, it's pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth, but it's not the best you're going to get. I would say it didn't like it slowed down past the softball field. Like it didn't slow down at the softball field, but past the softball field. So it was okay. I almost got hit by a truck who was trying to do a U-hand turn in a left-hand lane with a trailer on the back. Might be the stupidest driver I've ever encountered.
Just one of many.
Don't. Well, I mean, like, first off, that's an illegal U-turn. Okay, but secondly, you're doing it with a trailer behind you.
Laws don't matter here.
What? Are you kidding me?
Now that's a little bit. Was it like a lawn care service?
Was it a sponsor?
It didn't have like a logo on it or anything like that. The guy though, I had the green light on the turn right lane, and he saw me coming, and he still went. I was so mad. You would have had to use the dump button about 4 times.
Terradome.
Well, I mean, maybe if you had Nebraska license plates, he would have reacted differently to you. He saw you're an out-of-town driver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the thing, dude. That happens in Wisconsin all the time. I get treated like a prisoner out there in Wisconsin with my license plate.
Is it like the federal pound meat? No.
Okay, as you're driving down Cumming, did you notice any of the how much parking is as you get closer to the stadium?
There's plenty of parking.
How many? Like we're talking, how much does it cost to park?
Oh, I think it was 15.
Okay, that's not bad.
15.
Man,
that feels like a Friday 1 o'clock opening day of the College World Series.
It was
15 today, 45 tomorrow night.
Yeah, the guy in front of me gave a 20 and he got a 5 back. So it was 15
we're doing a
today.
deal.
It smells like sunscreen down here. Like it's pungent. It's a pungent sunscreen smell right now, which I'm glad to hear because we don't need people getting burned by the UV.
No, there's going to be a lot of pink people after the game today that do not understand that Omaha is actually really close to the equator.
Hey, actually, real quick, I do want to. This is actually very good information here. If you're on Mike Fahey Street, right in front of the stadium by Zestos, you come to the baseball village. You know how they have that clear bag policy. They are selling clear bags at the Omaha Baseball Village. If you're not already prepared, so backpacks are $20 and tote bags are $25. And I'm going to assume that they are under the rules of regulation here. So just in case you haven't gotten a clear bag, you can buy one at the baseball village.
Tell them Matt sent you while you're at it.
There you go. Giving you information.
Is there a lot of people around the stadium? Because I'll be there in about 45 minutes.
It's pretty calm right now. It's pretty calm. It's pretty hot. There's a big line over here. How much time do I have?
I think that line where you're walking, that line is the ticket office, isn't it? Yeah.
No. I'm at our spot. I'm looking at Josh Peterson right now.
They're there to get your picture taken with you.
This is what I'm on the air. I'm reporting on something. 1 second. Let me see what they're looking at here. Hey guys, what are we in line for? What is this the line for? Bat? Oh, okay. They're in lines for bats.
Bats?
Did you say bats or bathrooms?
Bats.
Okay.
No, bats. Bats. B-A-T-S. That's what they're in line for.
The customized bats, or to take like a couple of swings?
I think they're taking. Oh, actually, now I'm inside. Let me see where this is going.
Where are you?
Let me see.
I think he's gonna walk into a bathroom.
Now. I'm inside. No. It's bats. I think they're just getting custom bats. I don't think they're taking swings yet.
Okay. Bob wants to know what's the early tailgating in Lot D like?
A lot of small parties, nothing too big. There was a lot of elderly people sitting in chairs. Nobody has really been too rambunctious.
Shout out elderly.
There's a lot of.
Did you see
plenty of elderly people?
Okay, they're silver sluggers. Okay.
75.
Yeah, silver sluggers who would give them their Coors Lights down early because I saw a couple.
No dialysis.
My God, I want to live that life one day. Excuse me, guys.
Okay, so since this is new to you, did you notice? Because I know I'll run into them. There is a couple that has been coming to the College World Series as long as I can remember. They're diehard Texas fans. Every day they dress in Texas gear and they fly Texas flags at their tailgate, but it seems like they know everybody. Did you see them?
Yeah, no, I didn't see them. No, I just saw an LSU tent with two people that had to be in their 80s that were already drinking beers. And I want to live to be those people.
I think your judgment of people's age is way off.
They're 50, I bet.
No, they were very much silver sluggers. But that's not a bad thing. I'm not like making fun of them.
Do you hate old people?
I'm just telling you the lay of the land. I saw 3 LSU tents and I couldn't see Kellyanne.
That's where she's at.
Well, I couldn't find them. They got these like nice custom hats over here by where we're at. You can get like, those like plaid, the plaid corduroy hats. You get some corduroy hats over here. $28.
This is going to be hey, Godspeed to Josh and Josh.
Oh my God.
This is going to be one hell of an experience with you at the College World Series.
You can buy knives. Look at these knives.
Now's the time to pop that pill.
They got some high quality pots and pans at the Omaha Baseball Village.
All right. Have fun. I'm looking forward to the breakdown of Akron coming up here in about 20 minutes.
No, well, we got to start with Houston Christian first, Gary. Come on now. Come on. What are we doing? Actually, we're going to do a lot of Aiden Childs tape breakdown today.
Oh, we are. He's not even a top 5 quarterback in the Big Ten.
You're crazy. You're ridiculous.
Whoa. You would put him in the top 10 in the Big Ten?
Top 10? Yeah.
No, top 5. Top 5, excuse me.
He'll end at the top 5. That's Connor Happer, but he'll end at the top 5. At the end of the year, we'll call Aiden Childs the top 5 quarterback.
All right. I've heard enough. Time for you to go. Have fun.
All right. I'll see you.
All right. And we'll go. Those guys will be live here in about 4 minutes. Big thanks to Jimmy for being the maestro of everything that was going on today. Thanks to Shafe. Thanks to Verse. Thanks to all of you. Have a great weekend. Live, laugh, punt. Make memories at the College World Series or especially with Dad. Happy Father's Day, everybody. To all of us that our dads are still around or we are a dad or our dads are not with us. It's your day. It's your day every day, but your day specifically on Sunday. Look forward to seeing a lot of dads with their kids or taking your dad to the ballpark on Sunday. We're going to the Baseball Village here in just a moment. 1 o'clock today, Arizona, Coastal Carolina. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you enjoy the College World Series right here on 1620 The Zone. We're back in again on Monday at 6.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is